going on, YouTube? We're back. We are back. Let's do a panel tonight. Because I was telling Oshay in the comment section that I can be a critic, but at the end of the day, I'm a professional. Okay, I work in corporate America. You guys know I don't hide anything because I'm trying to help a lot of people. I'm sick and tired of the bullshit. So I have told Oshay that he's welcome and we will be in scope. So the same treatment that I gave Agaba, I'll give Oshay. Hey, come on, tell us. I'm going to go, frame by frame and ask him to explain certain things. Okay. And also, we're not going to have to do a back and forth, but he said, he made a comment. He says that Agaba was 70% truthful. Okay. 70% truthful is pretty good. All right. It's pretty good for Oshay to openly say that Agaba, despite all the heated stuff that is going on between the two of them, that Agaba is 70% true. I think that's a good step. Okay. Without even taking any sides. That's a good step. And it'd be nice to, I didn't think I'll ever do this. I really didn't think I'll ever do this. And I don't want to go do it on this platform because then he will think that I'm trying to take advantage of him. And I don't want that. We are a small channel. We're a knit family. I know my people. All right. Salute to you, Rainbow the God. Salute to you, Kung Fu Fanta. I came up with a new methodology that Shani Kiel is in the house. I came up with a new methodology where I'm only going to read comments of the people that have been with us when we started, when people doubted us, okay? You got an African dude with an accent trying to do YouTube. Some of you believed in us, some of you didn't, but some of you stuck around, even critics that stuck around. No problem, right? What is life without a critic? But I want to, from the bottom of my heart, really, I want to really thank you guys that believed in us and that has been coming in every day, even when it's boring. You guys show up. Man, I got some people like, oh man, a special thank you to Laughing Like Sagat. Okay, special thank you to Laughing Like Sagat. Why am I saying this? Laughing Like Sagat has not missed a show on both channels. All right. He's been with us since day one. Laughing Like Sagat has not missed a show, not even a single show. Even when he misses it, it's by a little bit. He'll still show up. I don't know how he does it. Okay. With an announcement, without an announcement, Laughing Like Sagat will show up. All right. So I learned this from one of Oshay's live streams, I think 2 days ago. Sometimes the people that don't contribute to the show come on the show and they distract you. And when they distract you, they throw you off. And then you have to read their comments. Oh, there you go. Sagat is in the house. Salute to you, Sagat. Okay, so these people are there to distract you. They don't contribute to the show. So I was watching one of Oshay's videos. And Oshay said he was not going to read any comments that were distracting him, only if those people were super chatting him. And you guys know where I stand with cash apps and super chats and all that bullshit. I don't like shit like that. But I was like, okay, I'm going to take what I learned from Oshay's live stream and apply my methodology to it. So this is what I'm going to do. I will read the comments, okay, of the people. These people know who they are, all right? The Nana Kwaku squad. You guys know who you are. I'm going to mention a few names. I can't mention everybody. But if I mention a few names and you're part of that group, you know you're part of that group because you've been here for 8-9 months. So you got to know that you're part of that group, okay? So I'll mention a few guys. Kung Fu Fanta. Laughing Like Sagat. Rainbow the God. The Big Cheese. Akinyi. Some of these guys are critics, all right, but they've been around for a long time. Akinyi, okay. Kobe. I'm not gonna get everybody. Chaotic. So don't be offended if I miss you because I'm doing this. I have no script. I'm just saying it because I know my people. Chaotic. Chaotic life. Afridamus. Okay, off the top of my head. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Jay hasn't been around in a while, but Jay. Ray Corner. Ray. Salute to you, Ray, mi hermano. Uh, the clipper, the guy that clips videos. I'm trying to remember his name. Oh, the clipper on TikTok. Oh my God. God, help me out. I got a clipper that does TikTok. I'm trying to remember. Sandy Kelly is here. You guys know who I'm mentioning, okay? 100K before the rainbow, the God is too optimistic. I got to let off the FBAs. If I bring in the FBAs, I think I can get there, but I've been too harsh on them. Dave Smith. Salute to you, Dave Smith. I'm trying to remember. Oh, my clipper from Cabo Verde. I got my clipper from Cabo Verde. I'm forgetting his name and I hate it. I hate it because that's my duty. These internet names you guys got, man. You guys got some internet names. I'm forgetting these names, but I know who I'm talking about. There's Travelmatic. Salute to Travelmatic. And then oh my God. Who am I forgetting? I hate to do this. When I was thinking about this, I wanted to write the names down. I was like, no, I'm not going to write the names down because I know my people. All right? I know my people. I may forget a few of them, but I know my people. All right? There are about 25 people that are with us. All right? I'm trying to remember some people. My Haitian friend, I've forgotten his name. He came from Afridamus. He's one of us. Musa. Salute to Musa. Musa. Okay, I'm doing well. But the guy that I really need is what I'm forgetting. My Skins Money. There we go. My Skins Money. R. Musa. R. My Skins Money. Sozos. And then I got one guy in Philly, my little boy from Nigeria in Philly, my son, Dragon. Okay. Let's not forget brother that comes on the panel. There's a brother that comes on the panel all the time. Okay. Uncle Rico. Salute to Uncle Rico. Salute to, I'm missing one guy that I've been on his panel. I went on his panel. Oh my God. Why would I forget this guy? I went on his panel, but anyway, it'll come back. But if I forget you and you are in the group, you know who you are. Okay? You got to understand, these are internet names. So I will forget one or two guys. But if you show up, I will remember you because I know my people. Okay? And the reason I say this is because life is tribal. Even the guys that disagree with you, as long as they are Carlos Red. Salute to Carlos. All right? It makes it interesting. Even the guys that disagree with you, right? If they know you have something and they know that you've been good to them, you have to always acknowledge them, okay? And I come from humble beginnings, so I learned from a very early stage that whatever you're building, you never forget the people that built with you. I've seen very arrogant people on YouTube. I've seen guys that get to 100,000, 50,000, and they forget the guys that were in the dirt with them, okay? So I want to make this promise to you. The guys that started with me, you'll forever remain in my heart. Okay? I don't care what your ethnicity is. I don't care what kind of black you are. I may be critical sometimes of your community, but my community is the guys that show up here. KIA, salute to KIA, okay? There are some names that I'll never forget, even when I decide to leave YouTube. There are some names that I'll never forget, and it's always going to mean something to me. This is why I show up here to this shift to do this stuff for free. Okay, this is why I show up to do it. I show up to do it because it's fun to hang out with you guys. This is my entertainment now. It's fun. But throughout the fun, I have a very deep within me. I want to give you all the tools that I have that has made me what I think is very successful. Okay. So if you have any questions, if you have any needs, if you have any, things that bother you that you need to talk through it, I want to put your business on the internet. I'll use my experience and my existence to come to your aid at a very personal, individual level. If I mention your name today, okay, I want you guys to know that you have my email. Some of you have my phone numbers. You can always reach out. I'll be here for you. Okay. It's very amazing that sometimes you have to meet people on the internet and form a bond with and form a relationship with, but even that one view, even if it was 20 cents for you, some of you like my videos before it fully posts. Like I post a video and it's not complete and I see somebody likes it because you want me to do well. How can I forget people like that? Even if it's not a great video, I've seen some of you like videos that I deem not great. And I know you've not watched the full video because it's a 20-minute video. I posted it 2 minutes ago and the like button is up and there's a comment on it. The people who do that, they don't even care what product you're putting out. They do it because they love you and they want to support you. Okay? And again, even though I don't do this for money, you all know I've never taken a paycheck on YouTube. Whenever I do, you'll see it. One thing we have to agree on is that you cannot doubt that I really, really genuinely care for young people, especially the younger ones. I don't want them to go down the path of these useless passport bros. And I don't want them to make stupid emotional decisions, okay? And the reason I bring this up is we had a very interesting chat today. Okay, we decided to give a man a chance to speak to the world. I've seen that Oshay has reacted to it. I want Oshay, if Oshay Duke Jackson is listening to us, I want him to understand that me and him have our differences. Okay, we're not friends. All right, I'm his biggest critic on YouTube. But if there's one thing that I know how to do, is act professional. I will give him the respect. I will give him a platform. I don't want to go on his so that he thinks that I'm trying to do this to get his people. No. See, Oshay's audience will not last one day on my channel because of the way I do my content. They're not going to like it. All right. So my audience and his audience, they will never get along. You know what I mean? So I cannot feed off Oshay. Okay, the guys who like my stuff don't like Oshay, so Oshay's audience is not gonna come here. So he needs to understand that I'm at the opposite point of that spectrum. But I want to give him the respect, and I want to go through those videos like I did with Agaba, frame by frame, and ask real good questions so that he can explain it. And in the back end, from what I think happened today, I'd like to get the two of them to talk. I will be a mediator. Okay, I'll be a mediator. Guys, I have a very extensive corporate career. Okay, I manage conflict. This is what I do this for a living. I'm a manager in corporate America. I manage conflicts. I can come here and spew all kinds of bullshit, but let's just get honest. When I get professional, I get professional. Okay, you guys saw a little bit of an exhibit today. Okay, so I can pretty much mediate because I know I had his side, I had Oshay's side. I want to bring Oshay on. Let's be nice to him when he shows up, and I want to get his side. And when I get his side, if I find there's a way for them to find some type of common ground, I'll reach out to them independently and I will coach them through a resolution to improve their relationship because I think Agaba has something. I don't know about you, but I really think Agaba has something. And I strongly believe when it comes to what I'm doing right now, this social media shit, Osha is one of the masters at this stuff. You put those two guys together and how articulate Agaba is, you can really do some money. You can do some damage on YouTube. Agaba and Oshay, if they are really, really serious, they can do some real damage on YouTube. They can do some serious content better than what Anton does with Room 9. Those two guys, even in distance, just logging on the internet, creating a YouTube channel, they can create something very, very valuable, especially now when the tensions are hot between the blacks. This could be a good opportunity to leverage the fact that Agaba is actually an American citizen born in the US. I didn't know that, right? So there's something that we can salvage there. And I'm going to try, just by being a critic, I think I can mediate. Again, I can mediate because of my extensive corporate career. But I'm going to put the link up because this is your show. Okay, we're going back to what we used to do. And if you come on the panel, the goal here is that we're going to go through Agaba's reaction. We had some audio issues from Uganda because he wasn't at home on his usual setup. But we'll try to work through it. Okay, we'll try to work through it. And I want you to we'll look at Oshay's new video and we will kind of work through it and react to it. Okay, react to it. And then I'm working with KF to get in contact with Oshay to give Oshay the same platform, the same type of questions, the same reactions and interactions that I had with Agaba. Same level. I'm not going to treat him any less. Okay? I'll give him the same level of respect, love that I showed Agaba. I will not interrupt him and I'll let him speak. Okay? I'll do the same thing. I promise him. If I don't give Oshay the same level of treatment and respect as I did Agaba, y'all can unsubscribe and log off. That would be disingenuous on my end. So this is what I'm promising. I will give Oshay Duke Jackson like we never had beef. I'll give it to him at a very professional level. My professionalism will shine. You all saw a little bit of that today, okay? Because this is what I do for a living. I host meetings. I'm still wearing the same shirt. I've not left my office since that interview because I've been in meetings all day. This is what I do for a living, okay? So I have a lot of experience. Man, I talk to maybe some of the biggest people in the pharmaceutical industry, from Walgreens to CVS, to Rite Aid. I deal with some of the biggest people in the world and the biggest complainers, okay? So I have a lot of life experience navigating conflict and trying to manage people to a resolution. So I will use that and give Oshay the chance to listen through what we discussed with Agaba and also speak through it and explain things the same way Agaba did. Let me take some of your comments. Again, I said, this is not a super chat hungry YouTube channel, okay? But some people were very destructive today, the other day. So we're going to get to a point where I have to manage people by super chat. I have go live go on. Let me bring you on give me 1 second, sir. And I'll frame you in nicely. Let's go to. I should have done this in studio, but it's fine. We're gonna do it nicely here. Like this, it's fine. Let's go to shapes. Let's give you this shape, and let's give you some borders, sir. Let's go to red. Red. Let's go right here. Okay. Give me a few seconds to fix this up.
No worries.
Go, leave, go. Salute to you, bro.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Good. You sound familiar.
Yeah, I was. I think I've been missing in action for quite a while, but I was one of the first people to big up your channel back in the day for sure. With
I remember you. Yeah, you're on the East Coast somewhere, right?
yeah, exactly.
I remember you, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I normally watch your videos here and there, but obviously we all work in corporate America, so it kind of gets a little bit busy. But I follow up quite a bit. But I was just calling on this situation, Agaba situation. I think the guy did a very good job when you walked him through the video and letting him explain himself. I didn't see any deceit on his side, but when watching again O'Shea's video, I found O'Shea to be very shady and becoming a shock jock. So basically, he would throw out all these things about Agaba, but he wouldn't really back it up with anything. It was all he said, she said type of stuff. But when you see
Mm,
Agaba like kind of explain things, he explained things in such a way that you can tell he wasn't there. He didn't see. All O'Shea did was not a good job in explaining anything. He just threw everything onto the wall, anything that sticks. He sounded a little bit intelligent and to convince people. So I think probably O'Shea feels bad that he fell out with Agaba, and all O'Shea is trying to do is trying to slander Agaba, basically, to get
yeah.
back to him.
This I this is what I got. And man, you're from East Africa, so I think you even know better than me. But I think this, like how things work in Africa, right? Like you need people. You need like a circle to get stuff, right?
Yeah, but O'Shea, sorry to cut you.
Go ahead, go ahead.
O'Shea wanted to become the connect, but he doesn't understand that everybody has their own hustle. Meaning, for example, if me and you were friends and you introduce me to a third party, I can do business with that third party. I don't have to come to you and ask you for permission because you introduced me to that person in order to do business with them. We can have our own private relationship going forward, right?
You're right.
But Orche wanted to become the connect, to become the godfather, meaning like for me to do business with whoever you introduce me to, I need to come to you to seek for permission so I could do business with them or get a cut from it or so. I don't know what he really kind of meant with that.
Yeah, and I was one of the things that really shocked me is I thought these events generated money, but those are events like you do to put your name on a map, right? Like to get your name out there, so you have to just spend money. It's like a brand thing. It's a branding thing that I'm not really experiencing. That I'm more experienced in product. Okay, so I believe in product. I'm more. You got to sell me something that I can use, right?
I think it was to kind of to generate interest on the Kanganda podcast or whatever products they are having, like the dating show and stuff like that. So for you to generate interest among us people and to spread your word out, you have this type of events. So you would partner up with, let's say, a local brand or a restaurant or whatever, bring people around, and then when your name gets out there, then that's when you convert that into a product. So, for
Got
example,
it.
the dating show, you would bring people who are interested into going on camera and being on a dating show. Then, when those people go on a camera, then you sell that product to the masses, meaning you put it on YouTube and get revenue from that. So, it's a long game of put it this way, it's like a hook. It's like a worm and a hook, right? You put it into the water, and whatever comes out of it, it may take some time to develop that ecosystem. But once you get it established and people want to be in your podcast, in your show, or whatever, that's when brands come to you now to help them
Right.
market them. Yeah.
So he said in our comment section that Agaba was 70% correct. Right. Okay. Do you think
I think that's
70% is?
pretty
I think
good.
that's
Yeah,
good
yeah.
enough. That's
That is
pretty
pretty
good
good.
for Africa.
Anything
Right?
above 50% is good because that shows that he wasn't deceitful, right?
Yeah, for Africa, that's pretty good because you do
Yeah.
business over there. I know you do. Every diaspora guy does some type of business
Yeah,
over
yeah.
there.
70% is good. Then the rest 30% is either here nor there. It's either cultural differences or personal differences. The way we look at the world might be different. It's like me, I'm a Christian. I can't look at the world the same way somebody from, let's say, Saudi Arabia would look at the world, or somebody like
Right.
India would look at the world, right? So it's a very semantic type of situation, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, I get, and like I said, I was telling people like Africa is more like a pay for play system, right? Like you, you got to pay to play, and even we do pay to play. So it's not like it's not really a diaspora issue of Black America versus Africa thing. As we're from Kenya, Ghana, Uganda, we still have to pay to play over there.
Definitely, it's more of a human. It's more of a human thing, right? It's like when people go to DR, Colombia, and all those countries. Like there is dynamics that are in the fabric of that relationship, right? That you can't just shoo away and say it's American or African or whatever. It's just let's put it as a human, cultural, and also just the normal intricacies of people from different areas of the world, right?
Yeah, yeah. I know there's some cultural elements, cultural shock, um, some initial distrust. You remember, if you're from the US, you have some type of distrust for these people on the ground. So you're always trying to watch and see when they're going to pull a little trick up the sleeve. I feel like this is where O'Shea was at. Like he didn't trust fully. What do you think about that?
No, I think O'Shea is a shady character to me personally. I feel like he grew up in the streets and in all his life he never had like people he could trust around him. So he's always lived with a kind of guilt conscience where in any relationship he because like if you look at his video, you can see that he's saying things like he saw Agaba with a side chick and he brought him this. So I'm normally saying like how is that a friend who can look at you and look at things that you're doing just to use it against you later on? So
Yeah,
does it mean O'Shea was planning all this, kind of seeing
yeah.
like if we fell off, I'll use this information against Agaba, or yeah, so that's where I found like O'Shea at the beginning he wasn't genuine about the relationship anyway.
Yeah, that was one of the things that really shocked me because we are men. I'm glad that we are men talking. That my platform is unisex. You know, we welcome the women here, right? We don't have problems with the women.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that men do universally across the globe. I don't care what culture it is. We don't tell like that, bro.
Yeah, you can't destroy somebody's family. Let somebody's wife found out on their own. But as a boy, those are kind of that's a man code that you never cross
Yeah,
with
that's a
somebody.
code. So when he broke
Yeah.
that code, see, all the things I've done with O'Shea back and forth is mostly a bit of internet thing. You know, it's internet based. So I don't personally hate him, right? It's just internet disagreements. Okay. I wanted him to know that. That's why I said I've done two videos where I'm saying that nobody should harm him. I want people to just have a conversation with him. Don't harm him. Don't do anything against him. You know, I've
Yeah,
been very
but O'Shea is very vindictive. That I can tell you for sure.
right.
Like he's not a guy who would take whatever. Let's say you do something to him, he wouldn't take what you've done to him and critique only it. he would take what you've done to him, and if you're a friend with him, he'll like literally like dig out the bones and kind of like give you like everything that I don't think Agaba deserved that, to be honest with you.
Okay. Let me get Sunny. Sunny, are you here? I want to
Yeah,
make sure that
yeah. How
you're
you
in.
doing, guys?
Hey, long time, man. Hey, thanks for the support, man. I see how
Hello,
engaging you are, bro.
hello.
Hi, can you hear us?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much. So, yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for your show, man. You're a very smart guy, man. I tend to get a little bit addicted to your show. You see a lot of brilliant stuff. I really like your show. You
Thank
know,
you, sir.
but
What
yeah,
do you think
I
about this?
listened to your conversation with Agaba today. If you remember when you are reacting to O'Shea Jackson video at 2 years, the Agaba is a very smart guy, very intelligent guy. I went to Kiganda or to watching O'Shea Jackson because of Agaba. He's a very, very intelligent guy. I believe probably he was one of the most important guys on O'Shea shows. He lost a very good guy. I'm telling you right now. This guy is a family man. He make everything that he said makes sense on O'Shea Jackson show. But and then you will see O'Shea, the only time O'Shea will behave professional when he see Agaba on his shows. He's very, very good. When someone is good, when someone is non-professional, you can tell, right? You can tell the way they speak, the way they react. You can tell the way he used N-words, you know, because he never worked in corporate America before. He never had any kind of corporate experience before. And Gaba used to take that to his shows and make it look more professional, right? Everything that this guy used to contribute on Oshi Jackson show was making sense, right?
Yeah,
So, and when Agaba came today and react, he did not go into Oshi personal life. That's how professional behave, right? But
yeah,
things Oshi was saying, I got receipt. Nigga, talk shit, nigga. Who the professional person will talk like that with the amount of money that he's making? You cannot speak like that as a professional person, right? The way he was speaking, the way he was saying. If Agaba was scamming O'Shea, as he said that he gave a lot of client to O'Shea, he will bring some of these guys on his show and prove that Agaba took money from them. And Agaba proved it today that I did not take money from anybody. Since
yeah,
I've been with O'Shea, I have not taken a dime from anybody. Do you think if O'Shea had a proof, he won't bring he won't bring the full? Because this guy functioned like a gangster. They grew up in the hood. That's how they function, right? So who he went into personal life with Agaba. Agaba did not mention the amount of women O'Shea is sleeping with or what he's doing. Then he remained very professional. He responded to every question that you gave him, right? But
right.
O'Shea would not come out any proof to say that this guy scared me. Everything that he was saying was just a lie. And then
Yeah,
after you interview, you spoke with Agaba, he came with the reaction video. And I felt for him. He said, well, people are against him. He need to be very careful. Now he know his position because he never knew that someone would come and react to all the things that he said. That's why, Nana, you are so important right now for you to stand up to this guy and showing to him that yeah, you can be saying things like that without no control. So now he's feeling guilty. I felt for him today. His last
yeah.
video that he had, I
I
felt
just
for
saw
him
the
because he
video.
was made a positive South African. He was taking
Yeah, I
South
just saw
African
the
because
video.
he's
He felt
scared to
very
death,
guilty.
right?
Yeah, I just saw the video.
So
KF sent it to me. He says, Osha is doing a video. I was picking my son up, and then
yeah,
I played it and I listened to it, and I said, he felt guilty. He didn't use FBA for the first time in his videos. He identified himself as an African American. And I
right,
was like,
right.
it
Yeah,
comes
and he
back to
said
what I've always
African,
said.
one thing about African, they are not violent, they don't shoot gun. He was on the South Africans today. He was even giving examples. So I felt for him today. But one thing he said was, oh, African Americans are buying a condominium apartment building, so people are against them in Nairobi. That's a lie. I have property in Nairobi.
Yeah, I
I
remember
have
you. Yeah,
almost three
yeah, yeah.
apartment. I
This is M,
travel
right?
to
Say
Nairobi all
that's
the
M.
time. There are a lot of Africans that have, even Ghanaians, Nigerians, you have a lot of, Africans not allowed. They are not allowed like the African Americans, right? So everything that he was saying today, you guys just started going to Africa. Why you think you buy one or two apartment building in Nairobi, people will be
I
against you
think
guys? It doesn't make no sense.
I think O'Shea, when he went to Africa, he thought Africans were really dumb, like really
Yeah,
Mm,
dumb that he could dumb that he could just like wiggle his finger and run
right.
rounds around them. But he found out different and he got disappointed. Rather than
I think
taking
so
the
too.
disappointment
Yeah,
and learning a lesson that there are really smart people out there, he
yeah,
just started complaining and saying that Africans are this and that. And now
right.
I see a comment of a guy saying like, "Who needs friend when you lose 200K?" So I'm gonna ask a question: Where did O'Shea give Agaba 200K as an
Yeah, he
investment?
answered that today, and I told. So I have extended an invitation to O'Shea. He says he's gonna take it up. Guys, I'll be very professional with him. I'm not gonna rough him up. I'm not
Right,
gonna.
right.
I'll
Yeah.
be
And
very
then all the
professional.
money, all the
Same
big
standards.
money that he was mentioning, he just said that to give the impression to most of these people in the state that he's rich. Yeah, he make money. You were talking about, I make me lose $1 million. Agaba said the $5,000 he said, I did not take a dime from these people. He just coming up
Yeah,
with ransom amount of money to give the impression to people that he's rich. But who the normal person would do that,
right.
right?
And I
So
think because he was giving Agaba a little bit of perks, which is fine. You know, I do. You know, I have friends in Ghana. I do that for them when I go to Ghana. Right. I give my friends some. I
But
take presents. I take gifts to my
Nana,
friends.
Nana, but those
but
wasn't
this is just
parks.
a blender, Nana. You go to Target
Agaba was
right now; it's
spending
on
so
sale
much time with
because of
O'Shea.
Ninja Blender. Then you have to say things about this guy. They are
All
giving
that
a
time.
blend. What is Blender? They have $30 Blender. They have $40 Blender right here in Target. Even if you're on sale, you can get it for less
The
than
ninja
that.
ones are pretty good though. They're like 180, $200. They're pretty good. But
No,
he gave
yeah,
he
yeah, but
had
it
two of
depends on the
them.
tab that you want. I bought a one that have those the small one, the bigger one for $119. Just yesterday on Target, it was on sale, but Monday is around $130. But Nana, why would you even mention that? If you give someone just for
Yeah,
all the
it's a gift
friendship
to your
they have
friend.
they have been together, just in one blender that you gave him, and you have to come on the show and mention that? Who
Okay.
does that?
I'll bring Golif in, but I just want to say one thing because I talked to Agaba offline after the interview, and
Right.
what I got from his thing is he felt like crying, bro. He felt like he's really lost a brother. He's like, I don't, I, if he watches this, he's probably going to hate that I'm exposing this, but he was very emotional about this. And this thing that he did, like coming on and speaking, he didn't want to talk. He didn't even want to watch the video. Somebody told him about the
Yeah,
video. He didn't want to watch it. But because we have not mutual friends, but I got KF. KF is very connected in East Africa. So through KF, we're able to connect through some mutual friends. Irena, who is gonna come on do a live stream because she worked with O'Shea. She was traveling
Yeah.
in
But
Ghana at the time. So we had some mutual friends. So that's how he did it. And the other reason he did it is because he knew I was African. So I wasn't gonna be
yes.
very rough with him.
Yeah.
I was gonna just give him a platform to talk. That's all I did. I was very respectful, right? And he said, despite our connectivity issues, I gave him a fair chance to explain his viewpoints, right? Isn't that what happened?
Yeah, but you
I think
see,
you
Nana,
really
you got to
did.
understand this. You got to understand this. Agaba, I've not been to Uganda yet, but I've listened to this guy for a couple of years. I used to watch Ocean show. I used to really like it because of him. When if Agaba is now on the show, I won't even watch it, right? Because you have to understand this. This guy, he left from he grew up in America. I think his older brother married African American. He said that was a little bit tough for his brother. He left there, he came and married African with me. He been in Africa for 15 years. Even the way this guy dressed. Oshe can be on his shoes sometimes he doesn't even have shoes on. He has his bare feet on the ground. I mean, like Uganda. But who used to make that show very professional? Well, Agaba. When he speak, the way he talk, this guy will not just talk off head. Everything that he used to say will make sense to you, right? And sometimes he will put Oshi on guard. Oshi will just be drinking 24 hours on the show. Agaba will be there putting on guard things that he need to say, things that he doesn't need to say. But and this will affect Oshi. But now he's in Nairobi, right? Kenyans are very, very smart, especially when it comes down to social media and internet. I don't see him surviving in Nairobi. I'm telling you right now.
There's
Things
Yeah,
no
that
way
he
he'll
did
survive.
in Uganda, if you try in Nairobi,
No, in
you
Nairobi
find it
is
very tough.
yeah, in
okay.
Nairobi is very
Golif,
tough for him.
let
I'm
me get.
telling you.
You haven't spoken in a while. Let me hear from Golif. What do you have to say? I know you were gonna say something before this. Go ahead.
No, no, no. I was just going to say that I think you give the guy a good chance to respond, and I would say like the way you moderated the conversation with him convinced me that that is a very upfront type of guy. And I was also going to say like if O'Shea were to pay him consultant fees, then whatever O'Shea paid him till now or the favors isn't equal to what he provided to O'Shea. I don't think it's equal. If you are to measure it like in any type of currency or whatever, I
Yeah,
think the guy got a raw deal at the end of the day and also lost a friend at the end of the day.
yeah, he
So
did. Cause so this is my personal observation. Cause I've been talking to him all week, right? He was trying to push for O'Shea, but this what O'Shea was trying to do is not available in Uganda yet. It's a new deal. It's a new thing. So he, because of his Western background, the company kind of wanted to give it a chance. But in Uganda, they don't think of content creators as a big deal. They look at them as jokers. Because you can, it's like Zambia. In Zambia, you can give the biggest creator, you guys can look it up. One of the biggest Zambian creators is a close friend of mine. Her name, if I go on Facebook, you won't believe it, but I got direct access to her. Like I know her like crazy. Okay, if I go to search, where's my search here? I don't like this meta platform. But if I look at this girl up, okay, Muzi Kanji, okay, she's got 1.5 million followers. Can you guys see it on the screen? This is
yeah,
a very
we can see it. We can
Yeah,
see it.
she's a very close friend of mine. Like I
Yeah.
can show you text messages on my phone. I talk to her all the time. Close friend, close direct friend of mine. She's got 1.5 million followers on Facebook. If I need to market any product in Zambia, this is the lady that I push through. Like this is my home girl, direct home girl. So you need market access. Sometimes you go through certain people, but it's also they hit. Sometimes they hit a wall, bro. There's certain things they can do and there's certain things they cannot do. So Agaba was trying to push Oshe to something in corporate Uganda that was not very common. Oshe was just not patient. That was my own take after I talked to him one on one, right? I thought that was the problem that he couldn't wait for the end game to get the deal through because the guys didn't just understand how it worked. And
Yeah,
this
I
is
I
where
think
the
think
so.
frustration.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
I also think O'Shea, like where all this stuff started, was when Agaba made a joke on O'Shea's podcast, and
Do you
then
know what that
O'Shea
joke
felt
is? I
some
didn't
type
ask
of
him.
way. I don't know what that joke is, but what I picked up from it, it's like O'Shea's I think he personalized the joke, and then that's when he kind of started looking at Agaba in a different light altogether. And then after that is when, like, I think all this started. That's
No,
all
I
I.
don't think. Well, I think what happened was, Agaba is a very attractive guy. He's tall. He's a very handsome guy, and he got an American accent. So he got it both ways, right? Educated more than O'Shea, highly educated. You can tell the way he speaks, things that he said. and he was gaining more attraction than Oshay. I think there where the jealousy came from. I don't think the joke had anything to do with it, but he felt that Agaba was taking his position, right? So he got to find means to get rid of this guy. It was some sort of jealousy. I don't think it was any joke that, but Agaba would not understand that because
Oh,
this
I,
guy is.
I actually agree with you. I actually agree with you.
I think
Thinking
that's what
about it now.
happened. Otherwise, common joke. If this guy is contributing to your show, bringing more money
Yeah.
to you,
And he
why you think you're
apologized,
kicking
right?
out jealousy, right?
He actually apologized. He said he told him I'm sorry. He even went to his house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just jealousy. It's a this guy would Agaba would take over Oshi's show and say things that people would really like. I would see people comment, people making comment. Yeah, this guy is intelligent. This guy is intelligent. But when Oshi starts speaking, there's another young lady that used to be on the show. All we have to talk to Oshay to put him on his guard because he will be having a show drinking. So he will say things that are off the topic. And this Ugandan girl will always try to put him on his guard that be careful what you say. I can see what's signaling to him, right? But Agaba will not be drinking. He will not go to Oshay's show and be drinking. No, no.
Okay.
So I think it was
O'Shea,
some sort of jealousy.
O'Shea is in the chat. O'Shea, I know you're listening. I want to be. I know me and you again. Me and you have our own little differences, but I'm very professional when it comes to really navigating conflict. I want to talk to you. You're gonna do it on this platform so that you don't feel like I'm trying to leech off your hard work and get your subscribers because you know the content that I do. Your subs cannot even stand 1 week on my platform when they hear what I talk about here, right? So they might subscribe for 1 day and they will be unsubscribed the next day. So let's not make this about channel growth and subscribers. uh, I know how to build stuff. Okay, I build shit at scale. I'm not scared about YouTube and all this crap. I don't need any help, no advice. But let's talk this week. I'll bring you on. I'll the same setup that I did with Agaba. I'll set up the same scenes. I'll meet with you 5 minutes before we go live, and we'll stay in scope. The scope is very simple. We're just gonna address the allegations of Agaba, and then just a general perceptions of views about Uganda. That's it. I won't go into your personal life and the things that
I
me and you disagree with. It is just gonna be strictly on this topic, frame by frame, like I did with Agaba, because you're here today. And I'll give you a fair chance to explain. I will not interrupt you. You saw how I conducted Agaba's interview. I'll do the same for you. You don't even have to tell your audience. You don't need to market me. You don't need to push me. You don't. I don't need help. Okay, let's do that. If you are good with it, KF will set it up for you, and then
He can come on right now if he wants to, I
well,
guess.
he can, but I don't have the. I have to, like, like with Agaba, I went into the video, and then I had time markers. You know what I mean? I can bring him on for him to talk, but I'd rather do it with more organization where I have like
Yeah,
Right,
he
the
can
right.
he can
No,
he
that
can
makes
he can
sense. That
just
makes
talk
sense.
and
And
kind of
don't get
like
me
give an
wrong, his
overview.
show was one of the best show in East Africa. I used to go to Kenya. I used to listen to it. But when I start seeing Agaba is not appearing on the show
Yeah,
anymore, I
let him
feel
freestyle.
a little bit,
Let him come on and
but
freestyle.
like I said, I don't want people to look at me again, guys. You guys know me. You know my background. I'm a very professional guy. I work in corporate. I'm really at the heart of a Fortune 20. Okay, so I don't like to be unfair, even if I disagree with somebody. If it comes to things like this, I want to. And Osha is a big creator. Okay, let's just be honest about that. He's a big creator, and I want to give him a one-on-one like I did with Agaba, so that the playing field is fair, and then he can be comfortable. Like I made Agaba very comfortable. This was not easy. Like if you are watching us thinking it was that easy, no, it's not that easy. The guy doesn't even know me. Okay, so I want to make it very fair to him. I want to give him the same background, the 5 minute meeting that I had with Agaba before we went live, to make sure his setup is right, my setup is right. We talk over stuff, cool the ice, make him comfortable, bring him on, and then just go specific to topic. But if Oshay, if you want to do it now, I mean, I'll bring you on to talk. It may not be at parity with what I did with Agaba, and I don't want people to look at me as being unfair to you.
Yeah, but you see, one thing again you
Okay,
have to understand,
bring him on.
right?
So,
If you
guys,
if you if you
I'm
can
gonna
bring
do this. Let's do
if you
this. Golif and Sunny, I'm gonna take you guys offline. Okay,
okay.
please accept it. I'll
Okay,
bring
no worries.
Oshay
Yeah.
on. I'll bring Oshay on, and then I'll let him speak. And then when he's done, I'll bring you guys back, and then we'll react to it. I think that can
No,
be close to fairness. Okay,
Yeah, that's fair.
no
That's
worry,
fair.
man.
fair.
Okay.
Okay, let's do that. So Oshay, here's the link. I got a link up for Oshay. This is an Oshay only link. And then I'm gonna remove my guest and I'll bring Oshay on. Okay, so I got the link up for Oshay to come on. We'll give it some time. Just to give it a little bit of time. Okay, we're still waiting for Oshay to come on. Can you guys hear us? Let me know if you guys can hear us. Before that, let me take. I've been horrible with super chats, man. This show is not really a super chat show. We don't get super chats at all, right? So, but salute to you, chaotic. Salute to you, chaotic. Thanks, my bro. Bro, let's get together this week. I need to schedule a call with you. I haven't done that in a while, so let's do that because I want to check on your progress. I want to see how you're doing. Also, the guys that are reading Your Money or Your Life, we are extending that book to go through all of April because some of you ordered the book late and you started late. So we're going to close out the activity for March. We're going to start this for April. Okay, so this is going to be an April activity so that you guys can get all your books. All right, get your books in. And then I'm going to schedule 2 exclusive live streams to talk to the guys that are reading this book. Okay, that's the equivalent of membership, but on this show we don't have memberships. So this will be just us, my guys. You guys, I know my people. Okay, my people. So my people, we're gonna meet as like a quasi membership. We're gonna meet and we will talk through our book and what we are reading and how we are applying that to our daily lives. And let me know your personal experiences if it's changing your view and your perceptions about how you handle money. Okay. On this platform, we do everything for free. We don't care about money. We just want to do things for collective gain. Okay. Then I think what I'll do in June is I'll open it up for one of you to suggest something. So it'll come from the other direction. You guys will suggest and then we do. Okay. So it won't just always come from me. I don't like that. It sounds too dictatorial. I want somebody to come up with something that is very life impactful that we can all learn and improve. And then we all do it as a group. Okay. So we're still waiting for Oshay to come on. I think I kicked out my guest too early because I thought Oshay was ready to go. But we're waiting for him to come. Same rules apply. We're going to be very cordial. erase everything that I've said about this man and all the videos I've done. I just want to be um, in scope. We're just gonna be talking about this specific issue, and the goal is to make him very comfortable because I don't want you guys to distract him in the comment section. Let him get it out. Okay, I would like to hear from him and let him get it out. Maybe we can reach some consensus, and hopefully Agaba will come back and listen to us. And if there's a way I can work with them offline, I'm willing to do it. I'll volunteer my time to work with them offline because I see some good in both of them. Okay, they're not. I'm a student of Oshay Jackson. Okay, I study that guy, so I know where his strengths are, and we got Oshay. What's going on, man? Give me 1 second. Let me frame you in so you can fit right there. Give me 1 second, bro. What am I doing? Go here. Do right here. Make it beautiful. Go red. All right, we got O'Shea. You ready, bro?
Yeah, can you hear
Yes, sir. Salute to you, man. Welcome to the show.
me? What's going on?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Good to talk to you. I know you were in a chat today. You heard. I saw your comment, and I watched your last live stream on Kinganda, and
Hmm.
from your comment you said that Agaba was 70% correct.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
What do you want me to go through the video? Is there like specific time markers? This is why I wanted to do this more organized. But what specifically do you think he was? Let's just because 30% wrong means it's not a whole lot, right? So what is the main things that was sticking out to you?
Hmm. Yeah, so I was listening. Before I get to that, can you hear me good?
Yeah, yeah, I got you. I got you. Yeah, I can hear you.
I heard some people saying like, "Oh, I'm jealous of the guy because he's better looking than me and all of this." Before I get into this, as you heard him say himself, and there have been people like yourself, other people talking about how anti-African I am. He had the opportunity to you ask him some questions that will put him in that position to answer and say if I was a real piece of shit. And despite all of the things I've been saying about him that really are career ending, he could not deny the fact that, you know, he felt I was a good person. He still like to have a relationship with me. So that's something that I want to point out when it came to Agaba or just anybody that I've dealt with. Astronaut Akunda. I'm not perfect by my, I'm not perfect and my style is definitely different, especially for the East African market. But I've never wanted anything but the best for the guy. And that's what I want to get out. And obviously, when I'm listening to him, there obviously seemed to be a lot of chagrin, some pain, some regret in his voice. At sometimes stumbling, trying to find out what to say. I've never seen him like that before on my podcast. So I feel there's also, some opacity there. Let me tell you the one thing I want to talk about that he couldn't get around. When you ask about MOUs, he kind of danced around MOUs, okay? And let me explain what I mean. When you work for a tier one multinational corporation like Unilever, Diageo, Coca-Cola, these big giant companies, Pernod Ricard, whenever you are doing an activation, because I had no real idea about FMCG at all until I met him. He kind of brought me into, the benefits because I mean, as a person, you buy Snickers or Mars or whatever, you don't really think about the impact or what the wealth is behind that. But Agaba was a brand manager first of Uganda Warji. So that's the iconic spirit in Uganda. So there's nobody who understands onboarding vendors like Agaba. Okay? He knows the processes. He knows the code of conduct of Diageo. He knows the credo of Diageo. Every year, I have found out that they go over compliance training, what you should and should not do. So Agaba worked there for 6 years. If he's consulting me as Oshay, and we really wanted to get, you know, for the Pan African Dating Show, it went probably more with B&A Sherry, which is a local brand. It will now go to Asahi once they finish the takeover. And then Diageo will still keep its Johnny Walker, Guinness, Ciroc, Tanqueray, all that stuff. He knew that I needed an MOU first to get onboarded. What that means is when you have a memorandum of understanding, it serves two purposes. Number one, it protects them. Okay? It protects the brand. It protects their assets. It protects dangers, things that may happen at the event. Okay? Number one, it protects them legally. It protects them. Because if something happens at a V&A Sherry event and you don't have an MOU, something happens, somebody can get sued. And big companies like Diageo fear what? Lawsuits, because it affects what? Stock prices, investors' trust, things like that. But Agaba knows, as a person that was working there, he never told me, listen, we need a memorandum of understanding because he's negotiating for me. He's a person that I trusted like a brother. You know, as I can be hashtag FBA about certain things and delineation about certain things. But what people don't want to give me credit for is that I treat Africans just as fair, the ones I know, as I would do anybody else. Even though my style is rough, even now it's problematic, but that's what you hear about me here. People who live here, that's what you never hear any scandals about me in Uganda. I've done this to somebody. You never hear that. So Agaba is a person that I love, you know. So he never told me I need an MOU. So when I'm doing things with other brands like the Bailey's King Ghana Experience, it's right here on this YouTube channel. He didn't tell me to get an MOU. And why? Without an MOU, you can't get onboarded as a vendor to Diageo. So all the work that I'm doing goes unnoticed. I'm doing it for free. So he came on here and lied and said, well, I'm introducing him to brands, which is true. But when the corporate meetings happen on Monday and Tuesday, I have no leverage. He left me completely without any leverage. Then he tried to come on a rebuttal and said, well, O'Shea had people. It wasn't my fault. Why didn't they know it? But he's the one that came to me and said, listen, I know this FMCG thing. Let me handle it. I know Diageo. You don't know Uganda. He used to always use that as leverage over me. I know the market and you do not. You, at best, are a content creator. You know how to build a studio. You know how to run a staff. But when it comes to the inner workings of what's going on in Uganda, you do not know this. This is why you have me. That's my value that I add to you. And he even said that here. He said, well, I think I offered value to O'Shea. If you want to consider making losses valuable and leaving somebody out in the dark, then he changed his tune at the end of your broadcast to say, well, you know what? Man, I failed in what I did with O'Shea. So which one is it? Either you added value to me that helped me more before I met you, which he did not. Or basically you failed. You can't add value to somebody if you're failing. Okay, that's number one. Let's go to his buddy, who I'm not going to name
Go
because
ahead.
he's largely been defeated. His buddy became the manager of Uganda Warji after Agaba went to a lateral move. I believe he became, I want to say, the brand ambassador for luxury spirits. So Agaba would go around the country. He had a company car. He would go around the country. He would train on how to serve certain cocktails, how to position certain cocktails. I mean, he's a very smart guy, as you can tell. I can never take that from him. He's a very
Right.
intelligent man. He's and if anything, I appreciate that about him. Um, I wasn't trying to belittle him at all. I use my platform to try to help him with his podcast. If he needed us to edit a video, I would tell him he could do it. So that's why he never could badmouth me here. And that's why he wants to have a relationship with me now. Because my everything I've done was sincere. Was I perfect? No. But the reality is that this person I met, all the scammers that I met through him. Agaba has never met anybody that's a scammer through me. Never. He benefited a lot in his time with meeting with me. So this other person, we have a B&A Sherry activation at their restaurant, which is a problem. You're the brand manager. He's the brand manager of B&A Sherry, Bond 7, and Uganda Wards, his friend. We get into it with Tails, Bukoto. We go there. We couldn't close the negotiation. I'm forced to go to this restaurant and do the negotiation there. I spent a lot of money, but whatever. We do this activation for V&A Sherry. Now, here's the issue with V&A Sherry and Bond 7. They are rebranding under EABL because the sales of the brand, or at least EABL fell, which is East African Breweries Limited, which is included in that is KBL, Kenyan Breweries, Uganda Breweries, and Serengeti,
Mm-hmm.
which is Tanzania. Now, B&A and Bond 7 are in Kenya, Uganda, but Uganda Warji is only in Uganda, just like Kenya Cane is only in Kenya. So these spirits had fell out of touch with the target customer. Okay? So now the company has spent a lot of money on rebranding both B&A Sherry and Bond 7. And of course, his buddy had Uganda Warji. So he had the three mainstream spirits. So it is illegal to have an event at your restaurant. By this time, Agaba had quit. Now, let me get back to the Bailey's thing. February was Agaba's last month working with Diageo. Not only did Agaba know
February of
that we
what
did,
year?
I'm sorry, February
February.
2024,
Okay, so let's sit back there. Okay, go
because
ahead.
he told me he only was with me with two events, but his buddy was with me for the rest of the events, which is why I forced him out. So once we went to Bailey's, Agaba knew that I had no MOU. I have an email. I'm going to send it to you.
Okay,
Agaba's attached to it from the Bailey's manager that says that I funded the whole entire event with no MOU, and he knew I needed it, and he's attached to it, but I didn't know it at the time. I'll send it to you with the
okay.
brand, with the person that has now gotten a promotion, and the marketing manager, who I will let you know who that is too, and they're about to get fired also. So how do you leave me out there to suffer like that? So you know that I can't get credit for this, and then all of y'all ghost. So he quits Diageo. I'm sure, pretty sure, I paid the agency. I'll tell you what the agency is called after this, but I won't put it out here now. I
Okay,
paid the
gotcha.
agency money, which is illegal. It's money laundering. It's fraud.
Right. It's the African way. I get what you're trying to say. Go ahead.
And Agaba set all of that up. It was his idea. He convinced the brand manager to do it. Agaba came up with the whole entire scheme. He came up with it. Now he's saying, well, if there was an MOU, I didn't. He's lying. He's a liar. When it comes to that part he's lying about. Because see,
Okay, so
Agaba
did you not know what an MOU was? Like, did you not have an
did not
idea how the corporate structures work?
had no idea. And the
Okay,
thing about it is, I should have known about it. That is my fault. But when you trust somebody that you care about, that understands this, that you're paying, you expect that they would tell you. And
okay.
that person would not leave you with a lack of leverage, which is what he did. So he
So
knew.
so you believe that he did this deliberately, and that would mean that he had to gain something from it. You strongly believe that.
Absolutely.
Okay, because if
Absolutely.
you did watch this, I asked him directly. I said, "Did you deliberately not tell him about MOUs as part? Because that's like is business 101 for Africa. You got without that, there's really you're not doing anything, right? So
Right.
I did ask him that. So I might go back to him and ask him again. Maybe not on YouTube, but I'll go back and ask him uh, what the dynamics of these MOUs were and why he didn't present that to you. Okay, so that's one of the part. Is there any other thing that outside of MOUs, is there anything that you think he misled my audience, or like that he
Yes.
didn't?
He said that the guy didn't get fired. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna send you. No, maybe I shouldn't do that yet because it's personal information. But when it comes to what the guy did that got fired under investigation, I'm gonna prove to you he didn't get fired. He didn't get fired because he resigned. The thing about a lot of these guys in informal systems in Africa, even though as a Black American, when I'm living in Uganda, Kenya is better, but living in Uganda, I'm on like I'm forced to defend when I'm living in a foreign country. But whenever an African works for a multinational tier one corporation, they're actually on almost like U.S. territory. So now, and Americans understand how international multinational tier one corporations work for the most part. So anything informal that you do, and we can find out about it, we can become whistleblowers. Now, at
All
this
right.
time, I wasn't thinking about it because I hadn't pieced all the scam together. I didn't piece it all together until August of last year, a year from the last time me and Agaba fell out. So we had fell out 11 months before I pieced it that he was doing it all together. Had I had known that during the podcast, I would have fucked him up then.
Okay.
There
Let
was
me
no
ask you
doubt about
this. Let me ask you this though. There's a lot of people that are listening to this that are gonna say,
it.
"Are you doing this because you fell out? Because how come you didn't see any of this until you had until which I this is what I got from all these exchanges.
Good.
It started from what he said on the podcast. Let me break this down to this point. Did he actually
Mhm.
apologize for what he said? Because on the stream today he said he did. Did he actually apologize to you? Did he show up to your
Yes,
house?
yes, all that's true.
Okay, so and I'm not gonna judge how you process things from a moral standpoint, but is there any regrets to not accepting that apology or not seeing the fact that the man had to drive to you and personally say and admit that whatever he said, I don't want to know what he said because he admits it wasn't something nice. So there's no point in saying exactly what he said because you are the only one that can process
Mhm.
how you feel about what people say, right? Like somebody can call me the N word, I'm like, I don't care, but to you it might feel some way. So I'm not gonna litigate how you feel
Mhm.
about how somebody offends you. But is there a reason why you didn't accept that
Mhm.
apology, even when
Yes.
he made a little bit more overtures to you?
Let me give more context to that, and I explained it in my video.
Yeah, but don't say
Agaba,
what it was though. Don't say what he told you. I just want, yeah,
yeah, I mean, what he told me was what he said about that was the exact how it happened. That's not a lie.
okay,
Again, let me just say this: the reason why Agaba is trying to save face, Agaba is now a consultant, and so if it comes out that Agaba agreed that yes, I misled O'Shea, then he is going to be done in any kind of consultancy, in any kind of in the private thing forever. He can never admit that. Okay, but if I would have came on the live, he would have ran because I have undeniable proof. Let me give this thing about how that context happened. There was a guy that came from the UK. He's a UK Ugandan. Okay, um, he was on. I had the Repat podcast, but I had a person that passed away. There's a guy by the name of Kim the Comic. He got killed in a car accident. Once Kim the Comic died, I got kind of depressed. I was doing like African skits with him and stuff like that. So I left the Repat podcast altogether. Then Kevin Samuels died 4 months later. People don't know I was on my way to Atlanta. So I was on my way. Kevin Samuels had convinced me to move to Atlanta because as good as I am as a content creator, I do a lot of developing behind the scenes, a lot of like dirty work. So let's say if it's giving editors templates, giving shows templates, things like that, and just connecting creators behind the scenes. I mean, I've worked with everybody, Ward and Maya. I've worked with Miss Trudy, Esther, Kevin, the lead attorney. I mean, there's many that I've worked with. Poetic Flacco, it's a bunch of them, right? So most of my good, kind of developmental work is behind the scenes, how to run the studio every day, how to have thumbnails up every day. So I was going to do that for Kevin and then maintain my stuff. Then Kevin dies unexpectedly. So when Kevin dies unexpectedly, I get the energy, even when Kevin was living, but the energy to do the Pan African dating show. Once I started doing the Pan African dating show, this is when we started getting into the whole situation with the ability to do like speed dating events and things like that. All right.
Let me
So that's
interject real
that's
quick. Whose idea was to do those shows? Like was it something you had pre-planned or was it an Agaba idea? The
no,
speed dating, the
Agaba.
events.
No, that was something I wanted to do.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Agaba didn't say like steer you into doing some shows that or creating some channels that you didn't want to create, right? Everything was still something that
No.
you wanted to do.
By the time Agaba encountered me, I was probably doing the best that I've ever had done. I'm not even to that level anymore now. I mean, I'm close to it, but not like I was before. When I was really doing well then. So, um, I brought the podcast back, and there was a guy from the UK that came. So we stayed in contact, and his podcast was going in the UK. Let me just say this is not all Africans, but I will tell you this about African content creators. They tend to only reach out to you like when they need something. Um, it's not like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Just checking on you. That's not been my experience.
Even
It's
the
my
bigger
experience.
ones, like the bigger creators.
Well, more than Maya might be the only person that might do it. Yeah, when
Okay.
we were close for a long time, not anymore, but he would do it. But this guy, I didn't have a relationship with him, so he asked me in December 2023.
Let me ask you, did you ever meet Tayo Aida
No,
from Nigeria?
no,
Okay, okay. Because he does
he's
similar things
excellent.
as Wodemaya.
He's an excellent creator. He's an excellent creator. World class.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
good.
I watch his stuff. He's pretty
Top.
good.
He's top notch. Um. So by the so he tells me, can I use your equipment because I'm bringing my guy from the UK, whatever. Cool. So I leave Kenya to come back to Uganda to help him out. He flakes on me. I see him on NRG radio. I see him at Skies. I see he just ain't like the whole time. He just didn't reach out to me. So boom, we have the Kinganda experience in February. He's watching it. He hits me up out of nowhere. Hey, bro, love what you're doing, man. Would love to work with you again. And then, me as an American, I'm like, but you're a fuck nigga. Like, bro, you had me come back. You didn't hit me. Like, I'm not dealing with you, nigga. Like, so, man, you know what? You're right. You're right. So, anyways, me and him kind of squashed the beef. I kind of wasn't messing with him for a while. He comes back in July or August. I believe it was August, the same month Agaba fell out. So, the dude does a very good show. It's a hit. I can send it to you. I don't want to mention the guy's name, but it was a hit.
Okay,
I don't have
yeah.
no problem.
You could do it offline. It's fine.
It was a hit. So at the filming of the show, Agaba was like, I want to come and meet the dude. And I work throughout the night. So I don't go to the studios for the PDS. I typically work like right now. It's like 7 in the morning. When I get done with this, I'll start working. So I told him, I said, hey man, bruh's kind of fake. Bruh might be kind of fake a little bit. You have to watch him because he was saying, yeah, he my homie. We went to the Acacia Mall. We rapped. You got to watch the dude. Agaba's response was, see, that's how you think, nigga. Just because he ain't fucking with you don't mean he not fucking with me. So he was already kind of getting a little bit like, you know what I'm saying, out of his pocket with me, like on some disrespectful shit based off of that. So basically, I was kind of teasing about, oh, that's your new bestie. Oh, okay, I see how you know what I'm saying. But see, Agaba, he don't like to be teased and shit. So that animosity from that conversation led on to that next day when he disrespected me. He was already mad because of that. He left that out. It wasn't just out of the blue that he did that. He
Okay,
already
yeah.
had some disdain from me that day, the earlier.
Okay, yeah, because I was trying to connect that because he did admit that it was horrible, right? And I told him I don't want to know it, because I did ask him that before we got on, and then I asked him again on stream, and I said I don't want to hear it, I don't want to get on it, because if you admit that it's bad, then I want to take you at your word that it's bad, but what I take from when people do things that are bad is, do you apologize? Are you sorry for it? Would you ever say that again? And in my book, when a man comes up to you and says, "Hey, I screwed up. I'm sorry," and this is just a lesson for everybody that is listening. And we may agree or disagree. This could be one of the points of conflict between a Black American and an African. I think if somebody really genuinely, especially a man, comes up to you and says, "Bro, what I did was stupid. I'm sorry," I think you should at least forgive him. I'm not saying you should be cool with him after that, but at least you should say, "Hey, I forgive you. I'll be cordial with you, but maybe we can't work together after you say something like that." You know what I mean? But it felt like after that point, everything went downhill.
Right.
And you, in your videos, I'm just paraphrasing, but in your videos, you're saying this is when you find out that he's connected to all these other things.
I find that out a year later. So let me just say this. Agaba was introducing me to what I would call dead ends. So me knowing him, it was frustrating me. He would use this terminology called, like, again, I would say, because Agaba is a classic gatekeeper. The what makes him more dangerous than his buddy is Agaba is very articulate, and he can code switch just like me. I don't speak as well as Agaba, but I speak fairly well and fairly intelligent. I believe he's probably way more articulate than I am when it comes to the expressions of words and things of that nature. But what makes Agaba so dangerous is Agaba is very good at creating moments of opacity and doubt. So what he will do is he will say, "Listen, man, I agree that this is messed up. This is a dirty game out here. You know, these things are crazy. Or this market is crazy. But you know what? I can handle that for you." So at the same time, he's aligning with me as an American. You'll forget that he's a Ugandan American because he can really. Most Ugandans would struggle. Let's say for like somebody like you would struggle severely in our Black American expat group. Maybe not as bad, but you're not going to be able. Like Agaba is like an American. So he knows about the '80s groups, the new editions, the '90s groups. Like he's into the culture. He wants to be a nigga. Like he's almost like an FBA dude. So when the way he positions himself, it leaves you more willing to trust him because it's like one of you, right? So you don't. Like, there's no way this person can do me any harm. But at that moment, he creates vulnerabilities for you where you need him, and really you don't need him. And what he's really doing is like a death by a thousand cuts. So, for example, I had another incident where I got kicked out of a place. This is
Okay, I
2023.
saw that. You talked about that in that video, right?
Okay? Yes. So 2023, I got kicked out of Olive's restaurant. The marketing manager at that particular time, who will be on that email that I will send you. First of all, I got the call from my guy, but I was at my office, the Ghana office, the administrative office in Bugalobi. I was there. I'm not there often, but I happen to be there today. Agaba calls me. There was a young lady by the name of Patsy that had recommended that the PDS, good looking lady, she works at UBO. He says, "Hey, there's a Captain Morgan's and Bailey's thing. I think that maybe the PDS would be good for it." So Agaba calls me. "Hey, Patsy said that there's this Bailey's Captain Morgan thing they want to do, and Robert and Subira, they've been shuffling around and they need it in a few days. Can you do it?" I said, "Yeah." Well, he's like, "What do you want?" I said, "Well, listen, we'll just do it for free, okay?" He's like, "All right, cool." I let him know. So Robert called the marketing manager at the time. Robert calls me. Sorry, I messed up and said his name. Robert calls me. Robert is the person that can onboard you at UBS. If you are a vendor and give an MOU, he can onboard you. Now, Agaba used to always talk shit about Robert. He hated Robert. Okay? Robert at the time was the head of all spirits, whether they're mainstream or luxurious spirits, like upscale. So, if Johnny Walker's upscale, Singleton's upscale, Tangeray, Ciroc, Bailey's is upscale this month. So the guy calls me, can you show up on Friday? Long story short, I spend my money getting the cast. We go to Olive. He doesn't have an MOU with me. He doesn't have an MOU with Olive. We get kicked out. And this is by a very powerful Indian family who owns like 30 restaurants. I didn't know that till afterwards. I'm talking shit to the guy. I'm putting myself in some danger and just don't know it. Because I don't know what's going on. I get kicked out. The guy Robert says, man, I'm so sorry about this happened. Can you come to the Johnny Walker thing at the golf tournament? We'll make it up to you. I end up letting it go. Agaba knew at that point that I should have been protected with an MOU, that I should have been protected and been onboarded. All he said was, man, that's fucked up. You see how, see how he's so stupid. But he already knew that what I was going through was illegal and I was being used. This is before the Bailey shit. So you can so let me ask you this. If a nigga is really solid with you and he's sorry, is he really sorry if he's been doing this shit the whole motherfucking time? That is a nigga who don't fuck with you. So ultimately, I couldn't prove it, but my intuition was saying he's a fuck nigga. I called my mom. My mom loved the guy on the podcast. I said, listen, this is what this bitch ass nigga did today. He was like, you gotta let that nigga go. Right? And so I told him, I'll send you the message. I said, bro, it's not safe for me to be around you. And I was never going to bring that to the internet. But once I got his homeboy fired, I went and got his ass too. I went and got Agaba too. Because
Okay,
what a
but
guy.
okay, but so I'm trying to like look. I'm looking at this from like a time marker perspective. You fall out with him. He comes to apologize 2 weeks after.
Yes,
Okay, you still don't know all these things happening yet. This is something
I
you
don't
found out a
know.
year after. Why
Yes.
don't you accept that apology
Mm-hmm.
from that point? Like, did what he say again? You don't have to say what he said. Did what he say feel so much heavy to the
Mm-hmm.
point where a man that even comes to you personally and says, "Hey, man, I'm sorry, man. We got to crash this out. I screwed up." Why didn't you accept that apology? Was it that bad?
Yes, I felt. I talked about it. Whatever. I felt that he, as a man, had no real respect for me, and he did it in front of my staff. He did it in my
Okay.
house. So it's something that I could not even fathom doing that. Even for somebody like you who's been critical of me, I wouldn't do that to you. And you've made hundreds of videos about me saying things are complete. In my opinion, videos things are not completely true. And I would not even talk to you like that. And you're a person
Okay.
that I won't. I won't say I dislike you. I think you're a kind of a weird guy or anything. But I don't. I don't hate you or anything. I don't.
Yeah.
I come in as super chat. I'm just whatever.
Yeah.
But I
I mean,
wouldn't even.
I did clarify when I reacted to your very first video when you did this rant. I made it very clear that I didn't want anybody to harm you because whatever I have with you is on the internet. It's just a disagreement. It's content, it's disagreement. But when it comes time to resolve very pertinent issues, I can always put on a professional hat. Right? I don't want you to feel intimidated to come here and be able to express yourself. I'm not that malicious, okay? I just call out the bullshit. This is whenever somebody tells me what is your channel about, I just say, oh, I just call out the bullshit. That's what I do. Anything I consider bullshit, I call out, right? But that's a discussion for another day. I wanted you to come on, and I took particular interest in you. I'll just detour a little bit. I took particular interest in you because I was a fan in the beginning and I got disappointed. And my
So let me.
disappointed came from how I viewed people that had particular interest in Africa. Because, like, you have to be ideologically all the way to the other end to even uproot to decide to go live there. And when I started seeing the Tariq stuff, I decided to
Mm-hmm.
also be technically the African Tariq. And my goal was to be the most ridiculous African on the internet. That's what I came to do. I came to,
You're doing a good job, by the way. You're definitely. I mean, let me just say this. I am definitely not right in all my takes, and of course, I'm still learning, and I'm still like, when I see that something is incorrect. Wait, am I still on here?
yeah, yeah, you're good. You're good. What
Oh
happened?
shit.
Yeah, you're
Um,
good.
yeah, I understand that I'm still in error. Not every take I give is right, and not everybody is the same. But ultimately, I don't know you, and you don't know me.
All right.
So even you don't say those kind of things about me, and you've never met me. How can this nigga? And then so what I'm saying is, I had a gut feeling that, in my honest opinion, he was a bitch ass nigga. He was a bitch ass nigga, and he wasn't loyal to me like I was loyal to him, and he alluded to that. I thought he was a fuck nigga, and the only way that I wanted to see him was with these hands. That's how I got to that point. I got to the point where that nigga don't need to be around me. I'm a fuck him up. And so when he came to my house, that's what happened.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to ask you this though. You're a man, okay? I know that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now the U.S. everything is crazy. People are confused about their gender and their ideology. We're not gonna litigate that. You're a man, okay, fair and square. And I don't I don't know Black American culture, so I'm not gonna speak for Black American culture, but I know man culture, okay, and I think that is man culture is universal across the board, depending regardless of what country you're in, okay. I can be um I can have a side chick, and you can be best friends with my wife, and you never tell her, even if they put
Mm-hmm.
a gun to your head, you be like, nope, I ain't telling. Like what I would say in black culture in America, street snitching, right? There's some things that a black man would just never tell. But that
Mm-hmm.
is in criminology. I'm talking about this in terms of what we call the man code. Like if I have
Mm-hmm.
some baddies coming through when my wife is not watching, and you know about it because men talk and we navigate our little spaces from time to time. No amount of anger should get you to put that out there as public business. What compelled you to get to take that veil off and just break it up? Like, can you explain like what went into your
Yes.
thinking, like deciding like, okay,
Yes.
well, I got to destroy this guy to the point because what you said, it validated, okay, and we are men here, so we got to be honest. Shit, we're men, okay. If there's anything that I agree with you of everything you said, that's the one thing that could be true, okay, could be true, but we don't say it. Why did you say it?
Okay. So first of all, let me say this. When me and Agaba had the personal disagreement, you might have heard um on my podcast, like, where's Agaba? Or, I would never really mention him or take shots at him. I was taking shots at Agaba once I found this information out, but I didn't reveal it to the public. So for about a year, once I pieced it all together, I knew Agaba had been fucking me over since I met him. And that his goal for me was complete exploitation. So the way that I wanted to deal with him and his friend was complete neutralization. It was my job to neutralize the motherfuckers. And that's exactly what I did. Okay? So when it came to all of his shit and what he did, everybody had got punished in that Diageo scam but him. So I waited till his buddy got fired and had to force resign. Then I came after his motherfucking ass. And the reason why I did is because Agaba had no respect, no care for me. He didn't give a fuck about me. I don't care what he told you. That nigga does not, you don't treat somebody like he treated me and say you love a person, you care about a person. So that nigga had no love for me. I have no love for that nigga. So my job was to bring his motherfucking ass down. Everything down. Everything scorched earth. Okay? When I open up my house to you, I open up my home to you, I open up my business to you, I reveal my earnings with you, I help you, I try to support you, and your goal is malicious with me, nigga, there is nothing on earth that I will not do to neutralize you.
Okay,
And the
I get
only
that point. I get that point, but I'll still disagree. Maybe this is
you can,
something that we can take
but
from each other. Like, do everything, but just don't spill what we call the code. You know what I mean? You got to hold
the
that.
thing is,
You got to hold
he
that,
didn't
bro.
have, he didn't have no code for me. Agaba was trying to ruin me. I'm gonna tell you exactly how. Agaba, one day I had the guy farm up. One of the things I would do at my platform is I would bring in people from the agriculture side of the game. If you look at King Ghana in this early iteration, we would actually go to farm. I would spend money and pay to go to Arua, way to the Congolese border, and feature farmers. Some of those people got grants. They went to Ghana. They got grants from Chinese people, and so um, farm up. The reason
Okay,
why
I know him, the medical doctor guy, right?
I'm the one that hooked farm up. What am I met farm up to me? I'm the one that
Okay,
introduced him.
I know
Like
him. I know that guy. Yeah.
even natural Ghana girl, and like y'all don't know, a lot of these people behind the scenes, a word of Ure, she met what am I because of me. So a lot of like when y'all say I'm anti-African, do you know a lot of motherfuckers get connected by me behind the scenes in Africa? People come to Africa because of me.
I let
But
me tell you what I think. I don't think you are anti-Africa because if you were, you won't be there. I just think you've, and this is my personal take because you know I study you like a book. I think you've gone through an ideological shift based on certain experiences and like the internet game. You know, you may be you will be believing your own propaganda, right? Because you say in your latest video, which you did today, you say a lot of personally good experiences that you've had over there, and also some of the cultural differences. I never get into the argument of whose culture is better. I never do that, right? Because you live there, so you know we got our own bombs too. Okay, so I'm not gonna get it litigate who is this, who is that. But I personally think after watching you and just studying you, I just think that, and which is frankly fair. Like sometimes people would just go through some ideological shifts. You know, you get frustrated. Africa can frustrate you. I get
oh,
frustrated 2 weeks on a trip. It takes 2 weeks to get pissed off at everybody in the country. Okay, and I cuss at
right.
everybody from Accra, right from the airport. I start cussing at them. Okay, in Zambia 2 years ago, I hired a whole truck to do cleaning. I paid street boys to pick up trash
hmm
because everybody was waiting for the government to pick it up. I was like, man, fuck this shit. I paid them $50 and I got the whole street cleaned up. If I
Wow.
didn't do it, it would have been there for 5 years.
Oh my
So I was
God.
like, okay, this is the new solution. It's like when you come from the diaspora, or if you've learned something from here and you have a little bit of money, the way you give back is sometimes like, this place is stinky. Let me just fucking get a tractor. How much is a canter? It cost me $50 to rent a canter, buy plastic bags from ShopRite, and hire 10 motherfuckers to just pick it up. And then I took it to a dump site. And then I thought about a business. Well, like, okay, you know what? I can recycle this shit. So I was talking to KF today about a lady in Kenya that is recycling plastics and making roofing tiles with it. Because I like roofing. I like the roofing business. I was like, oh, the plastic is free and these guys don't want to pick it up. So I can do that, right? So I believe that the solution of Africa is in the private sector. The government is not going to fix shit.
hmm hmm
Not in Ghana, not in Zambia. The Zambians try. I would invite you to Zambia to see it yourself. The Zambians really try, man.
Oh yeah, it looks nice, especially Lusaka. I see it. You
Oh
know.
yeah, the Zambians try. I will vouch for them all day, every day, bro. The Zambians try. The president is hands on. They're very humble people. They're very connected. In some of the problems that you've explained in Africa, it's very typical with West Africa. It's not existent in Zambia. You might see little pockets of it, but they're very professional. There's a Goshes. I think you know him. Is a Ghanaian Facebooker. Goshes. G
No, I never heard
O
of
Goshers is a friend of Wodemaya. He was in Zambia for a cultural thing that Zambia and Ghana is doing right now, and he was only allowed to stay there for 30 days. He did apply for an extension. Immigration Zambia got his extension done in less than 24 hours. And he did a huge Facebook post about how professional they were. He didn't have to pay a
it.
bribe. Okay. To put that in
Hmm.
perspective, in my own Ghana, when I extended my passport the last time I was in Ghana, I had to pay a little bit of a bribe to get it done. So,
Right.
like I'm saying, like every country is different, the dynamics are different. I'm bringing this back to say, like, I understand that living in Africa is tough,
Hmm.
and it's okay to be mad. Yeah, I mean, I'm not against you for being mad about certain processes. It's okay. And it's okay to speak your truth because your truth is your experience, okay? But I also want you to be mindful of the fact that we've been beaten up so much anyway. Like, we don't have good press. Nobody says something good about us. So, even though you're being truthful, if you dump too much on us, I don't say don't do it, but if you dump too much on us coming from the West,
I
it
see what you're saying.
presents it's not like you're not right. I mean, I do agree with a lot of the stuff that you talk about, but I'm
Hmm.
just saying we're already down. So how much
I
more
get.
down can we get to? You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
let me just say this: it's not that Africa doesn't have good people, but I'll say it like this: people like Agaba is the reason why Africa is down. That's why gatekeeper, lying niggas, people who mistreat people. And I'm not saying that he always does this, but Agaba's an elitist motherfucker. Um, it's like these are the people who are gatekeeping the opportunities for the young people. Like, I mean, I don't really talk about youth in Africa because I'm like 40, maybe 45 next month. But they keep me young and shit. I love talking to the young people and some of the dreams that they have. And these people out there just don't care. It's not that Africa is bad. The same things that we're suffering as foreigners, Africans are suffering more. And so, like I said, there's a saying in Black America: when white people sniffle, black folks get the flu. I don't know if you ever heard that before.
Right.
But that's and so if I'm having issues, with what I make, what chance does somebody have when you come up against a person who is unfair like Agaba? If Agaba is willing to, that's why he was stuttering on here. He's fucking lying. If he's willing to do what he did to me, somebody who has money, somebody who would treat him fair, what is his attitude towards people who are poor? I've seen Agaba disrespect waitresses and waiters and be rude to poor people at restaurants. Just disrespectful. He's known for that. Like, this is something you would think that somebody like me would do that. That's quite the opposite, quite the contrary. That's this nigga, you know? So when you want to talk about who is mistreating Africans, yeah, my commentary, what I'm saying about it on the screen is harsh because I'm very straightforward as a person. But the people that are hurting the continent of Africa, it ain't fucking O'Shea Duke Jackson. I spent $1 million in Uganda. So it ain't me. Now, is it blunt? Is it not passive aggressive? Sure, it could be more humble. But let me tell you this fake humility, a lot of it is socially engineered, but behind that are evil, sinister people who want to destroy all the talent and raw talent that happens in these African countries. And there's sometimes I have pride when I look at these people and all the raw talent that they have. It's not often. But when I think about these people and what they can do, and they're going to go to the grave, and Africa won't benefit from their talent, it's a crying shame. It's a shame that these people in Africa have so much talent. More, I mean, and I'm from Black America, so I'm all automatically think that I got talent. People in Africa got it's the ecosystem. They got just as much ability and just as much talent as anybody else in the world. Just as much. As you heard him say, well, you know what O'Shea is doing with the studio. You see, they didn't want to give me any respect. The real issue was they didn't want me to get on because I would expose two things about the Ugandan private sector. Number one, you're inefficient. What do I mean? What I mean when I say, I'm thinking you glad you asked that question. When the brand is spending money on agencies that don't do shit, if you onboard me, I'm gonna expose that y'all are out here stealing money. So you don't want to let me get on. Agaba don't want me to get on. His little buddy don't want me to get on because then I'm gonna expose how y'all don't do nothing for real, and then I'm gonna expose the fact that you're incompetent. Anybody that can expose inefficiencies and incompetence, especially in the Ugandan private sector, are going to get met with a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of bottlenecks. Okay, but
Okay.
at the same time, y'all working for these multinational tier one corporations and y'all doing informal shit. No, I'm gonna drop a dime on you niggas. And again, I can say things better, and I do know that people think that what I say is hurtful. And unfortunately, like I said, I'm still learning and I'm still growing. But what I can tell you is the evil that is done to these people in that country is because of people like the Dabatuma Center. That's why. And I am standing up for them when they can't say nothing. They can't come on. People in Uganda and Africa in general, when they get used, what do they say? I'm gonna tell you what they say. Let's leave it. Let's just leave it. Let's
Right,
leave it.
right, right. Yeah. It's
Well, know why?
cultural.
Because you see, because why? I may see that person again, and I don't want to get kept out of opportunity. That a lot of Africans get used every day, more than me. And let's say if they're only making $200 a month, well, if I lose the money with a job, I can get it back. They can't get it back. So when I see Africans, let's leave it, and they can't, they don't have no recourse. What about them? What about their opportunities? See, we don't want to talk about that. Fuck what happened to me. What about them? And when these people do this to these women that work for them, oh, okay, you got to have sex to get a job. You got to do all that type of shit. That shit happens. I'm not saying everybody does it, but
Oh
it
yeah,
happens.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Even when I was growing up, that was a thing. And I'm not gonna be here and lie about it. I mean, you got to put out some booty to get the job. It is what it is.
Yeah,
It might happen here too. I think it happens in America too, low key, right? Before the Me
yeah.
Too
But what
movement, it was out here.
no, it happens everywhere. But see, the thing is, it's more pronounced here because people can get away with it here more. But what happens is there's a culture of don't tell and let me do whatever I want. Agaba is shook because I came out and exposed his ass. He never thought that I would do that. But he fucked with the wrong nigga. That's what he did. He fucked with the wrong nigga and I blasted his bitch ass. That's what I did. He fucked me over. He tried to ruin me. Agaba tried to
Okay,
ruin me.
let me. I want to get this out of you because that was another area of contention. You came up with 200,000 and then it went up to 250,000. Do you, let's just be honest about this. Do you really believe that he skimmed off 250,000 off of you? Like there's 250,000 that came out of Osh's pocket directly into his pocket.
No, no, no.
Directly,
I wouldn't think
directly,
that.
directly. And I know it's a
Exaggerate.
live stream. I do live streams. I can understand. I can just sometimes I do live streams and I say stuff. I listen to all my live streams. I go back and I listen to it. Maybe I'm delusional. I don't know why, but I go back and I listen to it, and I'm like, did I say that? Because it's a live stream, right? Is there $250,000 that went into his pocket, or can you get close to a figure what you think he owes you?
No, what I would say is, if there's not an amount of money, I put that out there just as some fucking to be honest. Agaba caused me a lot of pain in my life, a lot of lost hope. Him and his buddy. So I made a lot less money last year because I was so busy dealing with the speak up case. I was dealing with so much hurt and so much pain. I was going through a whole bunch of stuff. I was in really good spirits before I met him. My podcast was popping. I was making a lot of money, and it's good to really feel excited about Africa. And this is one thing that I try to tell everybody: when you're excited about Africa, good things just start happening for you. What happened was I ended up with a person like Agaba who already had a certain disdain. He already accepted that the way things were, where you gotta lie, you gotta speak, you gotta be informal. So I ended up giving my trust to a person who asked to be in my life. And then I got into a sunken place. I came into a sunken place, right? I got depressed. I had 2 or 3 mental breakdowns behind the scenes last year. I don't come out and tell my audience I got to be strong for my
Right.
business.
It's your
I'm
personal.
I
Yeah.
be strong for my mother, who I pay our mortgage every month back in the state. So I have to be strong for people every day. And thank God for, you know, just those old sayings, that we come back in the black community that, I don't feel no ways tired. James Cleveland. I had to really lean in on my culture at those times, you know. God always got a ram in the bush. Like I was picking up on the Louisiana back home sayings to keep myself sane, and that's all it was. It was I had to really pull on grandmama and them and mama and them because what I realized is it wasn't everybody that was trying to be a predator to me, but it was a person that was doing that. So he calls me a lot to not be focused on the task at hand, which is being developing. So that's why I put that amount out there because I
Right.
made a lot less money last year, but I would have been further. He cost me being on board with the deal. He cost me a regional deal. He cost me all opportunity, and he what Agaba did. He is the reason why every time I had to start all the way over again from nothing. He put me in that position where I will always be dependent on him. That's why I said that nigga owe me $250,000. And all this
Okay.
bullshit about I'm gonna meet up and we gonna talk about it, iron this out. Nigga, you gotta pay me, nigga, for what you did to me. You can't talk your way out of this because what he did was deliberate. Like it's different if it's an accident. It's an accident is like, damn man, I'm throwing a football or something and I accidentally break a glass in your house. I didn't mean to do that. That's an accident. But what he did was calculated. And what he tried to do was sling me out in the dark where I didn't know shit. But he underestimated me. The thing about God was a very brilliant guy. The problem with him is he thinks he might be the only brilliant guy. While his articulation and use of the English language is strong, he may not be as smart as I am. Because see, I went to medical school in Finland. I'm a systematic thinker. So I stack things upon things and I'm very inquisitive. Why is this way? And why is it like this? And why is it like that? And so I think in more coordinated attacks. So I'm a different type of thinker than he's used to dealing with. He's a smart guy. No, don't get me wrong, but he's not used to covering territory. And so that's what he was trying to make me do. That's what all of them were trying to make me do. So once I got leverage over them, then it was not fun anymore. So that's the difference. He tried to have leverage over me. Now he don't have it no more. Now I got all the leverage over him. And I didn't come to Africa to have leverage over people. If any leverage we're going to use, let's use the leverage to build what we're trying to do. We're going to have problems. Let's have fun in this. Let's build something out. He tried to stop that. So he's paying for it right now. So that was the reality of him. What he did to me was deliberate. He tried to ruin me. So
Okay.
whether people like
We
go ahead.
Well, I can't litigate. I mean, you've expressed your points, and I can't say whether it was deliberate or not. That could be something that we can take offline, right? Like maybe three of us we can take offline and figure out, and maybe you don't have to be cool, right? You don't have to be cool, but it doesn't have to be on the internet, right? We can just maybe sit down. I can mediate, I can mediate,
No,
and
we don't need to talk. I mean, like the thing with this, let me cut you off. The thing for me is, Agaba tried. There's no way if I pan all this stuff. Agaba is one of the reasons why his homeboy got fired. The incident that happened at July 6, 2024, that little informal game, his homeboy, Agaba was, when I negotiated the price, Agaba knew that his homeboy should not have that event at his restaurant as a D.I. Joe brand manager. Agaba knew it. Agaba knows that's against the code. Even though Agaba had already quit, he knew that if his homeboy got caught doing that, it was zero tolerance policy. He knew it. So Agaba don't even care about his friends. But then they'll be on LinkedIn being fake, commenting, "Oh, congratulations, bro." All the motherfucking niggas is fake. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Agaba don't care about nobody. He is a classic narcissistic, sociopathic motherfucker. He can come on here and dress it up nice as he wants. And the only reason why he wanted to be friends with me was to come and finish the job. He was gonna come and get. He was gonna keep on gatekeeping me, keep on getting this money from me, and then he was setting me up for the UAP, which is what? Hey, bruh, like I told him, let's go back to the farm up incident. Farm up came. Oh yeah, bro, I want to start a poultry farm. So I said, yeah, man, one day I'm gonna start a poultry farm. I put him on the phone with farm up. He was like, oh man, you don't need no land. You can just build it on my property. Now, what kind of motherfucker that thinks like that? He knows I have probably enough money to start something like that. So you want me to put the money on your land? You can control all of my money and all my assets. Same thing with my studio. He tried to get me to move my studio from my current office into his mother-in-law's property in Atenda, which is not too far from the Guru. So he was trying to set me up for a bigger play. So he was only coming back to set me up for a bigger play because he didn't feel like, I would figure this shit out. Now,
Okay.
I did make one sort of mistake. There was one person that he tried to consult in the group. Um, and I kind of took that out of proportion. Like,
Is that a the
yeah,
$5,000 thing?
yes. Yeah. I
Because
don't,
he
so
says he
it was
didn't take any
like,
money, right?
no, well, they didn't go with him. But Agaba is parasitic. So I don't want to paint it like he was basically like trying to target everybody in our group because he was not targeting everybody. But Agaba is opportunistic and he doesn't bring any real value to anybody, to be honest. He's an intelligent guy. He's the case of an athlete that has 5 star. Think about a quarterback. If you watch American football, a quarterback who's 6'5", he has an arm. He Anthony Richardson from the Indianapolis Colts, but he can't fucking read defenses. That's Agaba. Agaba cannot execute. Agaba cannot finish the job. Agaba has a bad personality, and nobody fucks a nigga like that.
Let me
So it
ask you
doesn't
this
matter.
though, real quick. Sorry to interrupt. Um, is there anything he did that you appreciated, like all the time you've dealt with him? Was
Yeah,
there anything? Because you sound like there's no positive at all in dealing with him.
no. It's just that the negatives outweigh the positive. That the thing about Agaba is a very intelligent guy. He is very articulate when it comes to, in theory. Like I said, there were things he wanted to do with the brand. He can coach. He introduced me to some parts of FMCG that I didn't know. He didn't introduce it all to me like he should have. But yeah, he's an intelligent guy. He was better than me even on my own podcast. He's a very strong lead mic person on the podcast. Like, he's excellent. He's a little bit too mic heavy, but he's excellent. I love working with him. He is a 5 star talent. I mean, I can't. I would always tell him that. He even said that, in tough times in his life, I would encourage him. And I would always wonder, why can't you, with a person with your talent, like you went to Penn State MBA, that's top 50 program, you're a genius. How come you're not where you need to be in life? Because he's a fuck nigga. Because you're not solid. But yeah, I like working with him. We were cool, man. He was fun to be around. Um, Nobody's perfect, but yeah, man, like
Right.
he got me into a lot. He got me in Austin and Holloman. We went to this Tangeray party when Austin was here. It was real fun. He introduced me to certain sides of how corporate world works. I learned a lot from the guy. Just not the things that I needed for him to help me. But yeah, and not all was lost. And he taught me more about, like, basically I was too open. I let myself be too open, and that's not to say that's indicative of all of Africans, and not because it's not. I actually love Africa more after that, right? Because now I understand that I went through the same experience that so many Africans go through every day and can't say nothing about it. That
Okay.
now I understand. I understand what happened to me. It's almost like Magic Johnson when he got HIV in '91. Like, damn, if it could happen to Magic, it could happen to anybody, right? I understood that the shit that I was trying to run from, that I actually got the well poisoned directly. And and I actually felt, instead of saying like all these Africans is fucked up like this, no, I took the initiative to say this is what's happening to everybody else, and this is the ecosystem thing. So all in all, like I said, I don't have I talked to my mom about it. Um, it's over. Like I said, I'm done talking about this nigga for real for the most part. I don't feel like
Right.
I got any more reason to insult him. Like the old folks say, all right, that's enough. That's enough. So I gave him that work, and I'm done with it. I don't have no more ill will feelings towards the nigga. The way it is with me, nigga, it's like fuck you. You know what I mean? But if I see the nigga, I'm not trying to turn up or whatever. What's already happened has happened. But what it will say is, nigga, try it again. Any of you other motherfucking niggas, try it again. That's what
Okay.
I am trying to let you know.
I Real quick, there's a few guys in the comments that are expecting me to push back and have some type of hostility towards O'Shea. Guys, I did give him my word. I said I was gonna give him the same platform that I gave Agaba. So if I didn't do certain things with Agaba, I'm not gonna do that with O'Shea. Okay, I'm not being starstruck here. I'm just trying to give the man the same level
Yeah,
playing field that I gave Agaba, because Agaba was here today. And if you watch that video and you come back and you watch this, I would say it's pretty much at parity. Okay.
it is at
I'm
parity.
Because I don't know what happened between them. I'm allowing them to tell the world their individual stories. You guys can debate that later on. The panel can come on and debate that. But I want to give him the freedom to express his point of view, right? It doesn't mean I agree with it, but I'm trying to kind of give them a level playing field on at least one platform where they can talk about the issues. So you can exclude every exchange that I've had with O'Shea here, because I've been on record for saying I don't hate him. I disagree with him. I don't hate him. Okay. So I want to give him that space. And I did promise him that if I have promised somebody something, I have to deliver exactly what I promised. Okay. So don't look at this any differently. I want him to be comfortable because he didn't have to do this. Okay, he didn't have to do this. He's got way more than I have. He's got a bigger platform. He doesn't have to do this. And certainly Agaba didn't have to do this either, right? But at least you've
Right.
heard two sides of the story. It's in the public. You guys can litigate it. I'm not a lawyer, okay? You guys, it's
And
up to
also,
you. But I want to be
can I,
fair to O'Shea, and I want to be fair to Agaba, and I want to give them. And if anything, I can litigate, and I'm not saying they can be best friends tomorrow, but I can take out the animosity to where they can at least forgive each other, and and then they can move on with their separate lives. And maybe somebody, like the Rwanda story that I always talk about, where you killed your neighbor's family, but you come back and you apologize, and you reconcile. That's what I'm trying to get at. Okay, so let's not make this about content fights and all this stuff. Like after listening to both of them, I really rather not do some of the videos that I do. To be honest, that's not how I trained. Okay, I trained to be very fair. I'm a critic.
mhm.
Yes, I'm a critic, but I think Oshe can go back and say, hey, at least this guy gave me a chance to speak my side of the story and explain my version of it and what I feel. Okay, and he's entitled to that because he's the one that has lost money, or reputation, or whatever it is. He's the only
Well,
one that can explain that to the rest of the world. And I would have loved to do this when we with more structure, like I did with Agaba, but he had to come on. He didn't have the chance to prepare. This is freestyle. Okay, so you got to give this the benefit of the doubt.
can I also say that I'm also the person that's the accuser. It's different when I'm the person that's the accuser, and he didn't have really any accusations against me. Even with me being as probably disrespectful, he was still like, O'Shea did a lot for me. He was really showing me a lot of respect, which I appreciate. So he didn't even speak negatively about me. He didn't have negativity things about me because I'm the person that's the accuser. So there is really not much to push back on because he validated that yes, there was some wrong done. I apologize. So it wasn't like he came on here and said that much different than what I said. But the difference is that Agaba knew what he was doing, and it was blatant, and he danced around it because it would ruin his career as a professional. It would ruin it. And all I would like to say is, I was shocked that you got it, that it got him to come on. I don't have anything ill against the guy. He tried to have leverage over me. He fucked up. He lost. His homeboy lost his job. The marketing manager about to lose his job. The Bailey's manager is about to lose his job. And I hope that all the motherfuckers know that they will never get hired at a multinational tier one national company again. If they fuck with me again, I'm gonna put all this shit out. I have a video that I got recorded, and Agaba's in it, and I'm gonna release it all. You motherfuckers will never work in East Africa again. So I'm gonna destroy all you niggas if you fuck with me. The best thing that y'all niggas can do, I'm gonna leave it alone, is go on about your fucking life, wipe your ass off, because you shitted on yourself, and you fucked with the wrong nigga. That's all it is. Learn from this shit, nigga. Learn from this. And I'm not gonna say anything else about it. I promise you. After the night, after I give you this interview, I'm done with this shit. I don't got no ill will, but you niggas tried to play me, and then you got played. Because the last thing that y'all niggas forgot, I don't work for Diageo. I can say fuck Diageo and never need them niggas a day of my life. I've made millions of dollars as a YouTuber, as a content creator. So, and my other stuff I got going on. I don't need them niggas money at all. So, when you got a person that don't need this money, that got an audience like I do, and you fuck with them, it's career suicide. You're asking to get your ass lit up. And that's what happened. They didn't know what they was dealing with. And it's cool. Like, I learned from it. It's all good. But again, I want to thank you for allowing me to come on.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you make videos. I don't really be tripping. My mom be seeing some of them videos and shit. She's like, who the fuck is this guy? I'm like, yeah, he's crazy. So I don't know. But whatever. I'm learning.
Right.
I'm growing. I'm growing in this. I work real hard for what I do. Like, if you know me, I work 15, 16 hours a day sometimes, like doing what
Right.
I do. Not only am I like a YouTuber, but like the Pan African dating show, coaching and developing people, reinvesting in equipment, bringing people to Uganda, doing all things. I'm doing so much. You know, I wear a lot of hats because the ecosystem for content creation is not there in Uganda. So for a motherfucker like that to rob me like he didn't just rob from me. He robbed from the youth. He didn't just rob from the youth. He robbed from the diaspora because we would have been a lot further in the process, and we're not. And he helped me. He helped me stumble. He caused me to stumble. And a motherfucker if you see how hard I work every day, bro, it's insane, bro. Like the shit that I have to go through, the shit that I do. Like even when I'm doing a video, it may take me like 3 or 4 hours to clips. No, add this sound effect, add this. No, we rendered the video. That video is wrong. Why didn't you do this? No, that clip is out. Like one video,
Okay.
you know.
Um. Yeah. I know this was kind of abrupt. Maybe we'll do one where you are more prepared and you have the time to talk through more serious stuff. If you want to do it offline, I'll do it with you. I like again, I don't have any animosity towards you personally. I disagree with a lot of stuff you do, but I also understand your position on certain things. Right? It's okay. It's very healthy to disagree on certain things, and we'll take this conversation a little bit further. I'll get back to Agaba and talk over the things that you've talked about. But I understand your plight and the things that you've gone through because I'm from that place, so I know what goes on over there. And if what I would say here is thanks for coming, taking this up because even coming here is not that easy. I bet you like this motherfucker, right? Coming over here
Well,
might not would have been the easiest thing to do, but at least you did, right? You did.
I mean, they've been talking shit all day in the chat. Like, I don't have no problem with none of your subscribers. I'm not here to disrespect them. There's one dude, he been killing me the whole night. Non-Zab 3595. He been the main one. Like the other dude got on there basically said I'm ugly and I was jealous of this nigga. Again, like
No, no,
These are
I don't get into personals, and
no,
men
no, no.
are not
I
supposed to be
don't care.
beautiful, right? I don't care about
Nah,
that
nah,
shit.
I mean, I don't really care. But what I'm trying to say is the one thing that y'all need to understand, even if you disagree with me, I had a big back and forth with Afro think tank. I had cussed that nigga out so bad I took the video down. But the one thing that can nobody say is that I don't do Pan African shit. Whether you like my takes or not. When I deal with Africans, I treat them the same way that I treat black people from America. I love them the same way. I cuss their ass out the same way too. In the same way I'm dealing with Agaba, because he used the culture to get into me, I'm using the culture to deal with that nigga. That's the same way I would deal with any nigga on the street or anybody who fucked over me. It's the same way. I'm not dealing with him no different. You ain't never heard me talk about nothing tribalism about him. You ain't never heard me insult his tribe. I ain't insulted Uganda. I'm dealing with that nigga as an individual.
Okay.
Right? That's what I'm dealing with him at. I don't have no qualms with Africa or qualms with Africans because of what he did. Now, can you get frustrated? Yes.
All right.
But, like I said, I'm not trying to disrespect your audience or whatever. Like, people are going to have their opinions. I have controversial takes. So that's going to naturally make people not like you. You can
Oh,
make a thousand good
I think I have more controversial takes than you. I'm like, I'm the worst, and I know that. I understand what you're saying there. Um, man, I'll let you go because again, you did this without preparation. You had to come on and tell us your side of the story. If before you leave, I want to ask you this though: is it possible that you take down that video for Agaba and then we can talk offline? Or is that something that needs to be? You already got paid for that video, didn't you?
I mean, it's. I mean, I think about it. I probably want to move on from this shit and just, it's out there. So, I want to move on with my platform. I'm gonna talk to my mom. I'm probably gonna take it down because again, I'm just tired of this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Whatever. Like, I think he's a fuck nigga and all of that, and I got proof. Like, I have serious back breaking proof. And I'm not trying to put it out there on these niggas like that because even me, I know what I've done is enough. Like it's enough. I don't need to go nuclear on these motherfuckers, but it's enough. And I'm kind of want to move forward like with my life. You know what I mean? I want to move forward with my life. I might take that shit down. Even though he was trying to take me down, I might take that shit down because it's not that I'm doing that shit for him. I'm doing that for me. Like I don't care about that nigga. I'm not trying to protect him, but I'm trying to move on with my shit. So if I do it, that's because I'm doing it for me, and it's enough. I've already done enough, and I don't need to assassinate him no more than I need to. But if he fuck with me, I will bring down the rest of the house for sure, 100%. That is what I'm gonna do, and they should never fuck with me ever again. They never thought that a nigga like me could get niggas fired, could get niggas. I could put them in bad positions, and I didn't come to Africa for that shit. I really didn't. I came to the continent because I wanted to grow. I came to the continent because I wanted to build, and I came to the continent to learn more about things I didn't know about. And unfortunately, shit like this has stopped me from doing what I really wanted to do. And what I really want to do is get back to the people, get back to having fun, getting back to loving this place like I used to, and getting back to just building and just learning and growing as a person. That's what I want to do. I'm here. I love Africa. I talk to my brother Face. I love him. He's a good brother. I just want to be out here and just like I used to love it. Like that's one of the reasons why I left Uganda, man. Uganda, like somebody got killed in February that I know. And after that, it really shook me. Ken the comic got killed, and you think that this is because I'm talking about I'm hashtag FBA. If somebody died that you care about, it hurts you. Don't matter who they are. It don't matter if that person's or Uganda died. I don't. You don't. Your feelings don't say that. If something were to happen to Joe Nita or happen to Rachel, I cry like I'm like a baby. That's just a Ugandan. You love them like you go to battle with them every fucking day. Like my manager, Joe Nita, I go to battle with them every day. We go to war with this business every day to stay in business every day. Like Joe Nita is like my daughter. Like I'm like her dad. Like seriously, I've raised her like a daughter. Even Esther. I don't even like Esther. I'm like their father in a way. These are my people. Like it don't matter they African, they from Uganda, Kenya. These are people I love. What did that matter? So I just lost a lot of joy behind a lot of this bullshit. And it hurt me. You know what I'm saying? It hurt me deeply. Just like it would have hurt me if I had got into it with an African American or a Black American or my family. It hurt me in the same way. What I went through with Agaba hurt me in the same way as if it was somebody that was in my family. That's how it hurt me. It didn't hurt me, oh, this is an African nigga doing that. No, that nigga was close to
Right.
me, like a motherfucker. He would be in my house. He would be at my events. He would be like, this nigga was spending time with me. I was advising this nigga on how to grow his business. That nigga, that nigga, we had trust.
All right. All right, man. Yeah, I get it. Let me know whenever you like. If you do consider to
No,
take it down, you can. You don't have to.
you
If
think I
you
should
don't have
hold
to.
on? You think I should take it down? I'll take it down for that bitch ass nigga. What do you think? Should I take it down?
I think you should, because at least we're trying to litigate
Okay,
it. And he's at least
I'll tell you what.
apologized to you, right? He's personally openly apologized to you.
Tell
Yeah,
you
he
what,
said
I'm
some
taking
good
it
things about you, and some of the stuff that you didn't see, because I talked to him before and after. When I closed the live, I spoke to him after, and there's a lot of he does admit some mistakes, but he's also um, very upfront about the fact that he made certain mistakes. He couldn't achieve certain things that he was trying to achieve for you, and he's very sorry about it. And like one thing I've learned growing up over the years is whenever somebody's really sorry about something, I take it away from the masses, and I deal with them man to man, right? So at least there's a channel that is open. I think you guys can take it off the internet, because I mean, what you want to square it up, I get that, but what good is it if you also destroy a man, right? He's got kids to feed, he's got
Well,
a wife.
he tried to destroy me, and like I said, I'm gonna take it down for me. My mom want me to take it down, leave it alone. I'm gonna take it down. Probably gonna take it down in 30 minutes. So I'm moving
Okay.
on from this shit. Now, if I'm gonna take it down, you gotta take this shit down. This part of the live now. So you know what I
Well,
mean?
this one we're doing the stream.
If I'm gonna take it down, you gotta take this part, or you gotta cut this part out of the video.
Oh, I mean, it's a live stream. If you want me to what do you call it? What do you want to call this? If you want me to unlist it after, that's fine. If you want me to clip out some moments and not take out some moments, I can run it by you. What
If I,
moments you want me to clip out?
I mean, you know,
Or
just
just
what.
don't say it. We can do it through email, and just decide then if
No,
that's a big deal.
he not that nigga. Not really sorry, but it's okay. You know, like I said, man, it's over and done with. For me, for my business, and what we gotta do, I gotta get back to wanting to be in Uganda and or I'm in Kenya right now, but I gotta get back to wanting to be here and having a positive outlook about this place, because this place has done a lot of good things for me. And you know, like I said, keep going back and forth with this bullshit. And I've been fighting this case for like 7 months. Um, I've been going to war with these niggas for 7 months. Like I'm talking about really going to war, like going on their LinkedIn, commenting when they get fired, congratulating them, writing articles on them without mentioning their name. Just basically just, you know, like private sector corporate suicide. Like I've been obsessed. Like I had a picture of this nigga that I got fired. I will show you right now. But if you can see, that's that nigga here in a chicken Inn uniform. That's how I would wake up to my other phone like this every day and look at it, because I wanted his whole thing, and I just wasn't gonna stop until I got him down. And that's obsessive, but that's how I think. So for me, I want to move forward with this. Let them niggas have their lives and shit. I'll take all that shit down, whatever. And I'm not interested in really fucking with a nigga like that no more. But yeah, like I said, it's a good suggestion. I'll take it down, and I'm gonna just move on with my shit. And God bless that nigga and whatever the fuck he doing. And I'm just gonna move on with it and have a positive attitude. And let the Lord deal with me as I grow and be a better man and try to learn from this shit and help other people. Like I don't want to see no Africans get scammed. I don't want to see Black Americans get scammed. I know so many African brothers in Dubai, Qatar, They'll hit me up, man. Do you know where I can send my money to? Because my brother, he's spending my money. Like, I have so much, like, I don't understand everything, but it's so many Africans that in the diaspora send money home to Liberia to build a house. Their family take it. They trying to do something. They come home and find out their money gone. Shit like that. So I'm not doing this just for Black Americans. Like, anybody that can use my information, I don't sell courses. You don't see me doing a P3 and me shit. You don't see me selling consultations. Everything I do is free.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
same here too. I don't do memberships. I don't do none of that bullshit. I just talk to people for free.
Yeah.
I got a
So
group of guys that I mentor that I reach out to and I talk to them off the phone and just try to help them out. And contrary to what people think about me, I don't ask what people's nationalities are when they reach out to me. I just give them the game.
yeah. Oh, so anyways, like I said, I'm gonna take the shit down. And again, I'm not taking this shit down for that nigga, but I'm taking it down for me. And like I said, I need to get out of this war shit and get back to what I need to do. So again, I'll be looking for the videos of you roasting me and shit in about 2 weeks, a week or whatever. I come in and support, like it and whatever.
Hey, we'll talk offline, but yeah, I guess we got somewhere. They said you always need conversation to get somewhere. We've conversed. Uh, I think we can work on that. I got how it's a lot easier when you speak to somebody because you get to understand what they're processing, what they're going through. It's again, we can have our disagreements. If there's something that you make that I don't like, I will make a video too and say I don't like it, but I don't think I'll go on the offense like I've always have. Okay, so that's gonna go away. You're not gonna see out of nowhere some random shit, but it's gonna be a reaction to something you did that I don't like. Okay, so as long
Well,
as there's nothing that I don't like, I think we're good.
I don't. Let me say this. Don't tear them down. He trying to protect the guy, but nah, I got. Listen, man. I'm done with that. Like, really, I'm done with that shit, family. Like, I gotta move on from this nigga, man. These niggas tried to fuck me. I got them niggas back with some retribution. It's enough. The shit went on long enough. Fuck them niggas. Straight up and down. They tried to play me. I got my little get back. I wanna move on with my life. I wanna move on with my life. I cannot move on with my shit going back and forth with these niggas, man. I just can't do it.
All right, all
You know
right.
what I'm saying? I think, you know what I mean? So, like I said, I'm gonna do the nigga solid because my mom told me, and you saying that shit. So I'm gonna remove my video like a real nigga. Like, I'm gonna do it like a real nigga and stand on it. I'm not gonna mention that nigga name no more. And like I said, I already have nothing to talk to that nigga about because he's not truthful. He's a liar. He not solid. So that's what I'm saying. He not a real nigga. You feel me? So, that's probably not gonna never happen because you can't trust nothing he say. That nigga might say something, get you set up the next day. That nigga, like, these niggas are vicious, bro. These niggas will walk into your house, my nigga, and be all in your face, nigga, and getting you the same time. It's a different level of fuckery with some of these niggas out here. Him and this little partner that I got fired, them niggas are savages, bro. Them niggas are calculated. Them motherfucking niggas are cold blooded. Them niggas are some gangster ass niggas. I ain't gonna lie. That nigga Agaba may have like 17 bodies out there somewhere. You don't even know. That nigga's a cold nigga. That's some real gangster ass shit that nigga. You can't trust a nigga like that. That's a gangster ass nigga. That nigga is not solid. Nigga, you ain't gonna play me, nigga. The only time we need to meet up is about these hands, nigga. If you not trying to shoot the fair one, nigga, we done, nigga. On my mama, we done. Sorry, my West Coast shit is coming out, but I'm sorry.
All right, you sounded like
My
Jarello there for a minute,
my
but
West, my West Coast niggas. No, Africans not evil, man. I hate. We're not gonna say that, man. Africans is not evil. That motherfucking nigga is evil. We're not gonna say here Africans is evil because you know what? A lot of shit that I got done in Africa, Africans helped me, bro. I can't sit up here. I'll be lying to you. Africans have helped me tremendously in what I'm doing. I couldn't get it done without them. So how is Africans evil? All my shit right now is in
yeah,
Uganda.
you don't. I don't believe in these generalizations. There's good everywhere, bro.
Yeah. So, like I said, man, Africans are not evil. Like I have a maid. I be dropping. I've been times in Uganda. I drop money. I drop my phone. Somebody come and give it to me. I dropped my iPhone one day. A young lady came in like 2 blocks where I was at. She came and found me and gave me the phone. Shit like that.
Yeah, that's
Like
not very common over there though. Like yeah.
I drop. Like I leave. Like sometimes I had a maid. I had like $700. I couldn't. Oh, I found your money. 700. She could have pocketed that.
Yeah,
But that happens a
that's
lot.
2 months. That's 2 months of a salary for some people.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I can't say that, man. Like people have shown me so much love, bruh, on the content. A lot of love. Like I met one of my best buddies is from a Somalian Australian, and he fly in every now and then. Like I met him like when I was last year, I think in October he was here. He came and bought me some Cuban cigars, man. They're like $20. Um, he'll just send me something for my birthday, like 300. I'm like, man, I just send it back to him. But he just loved me so much. And whenever he come in East Africa, I'll stop what I'm doing and go fuck with him. Like, I done
Oh
met
wow.
some beautiful people here. But motherfuckers don't really know that about me because, like, I don't really put that out there and shit. But I met so many, had so many life changing experiences that I love. And I want to get back to that. I want to get back to that, man. And even though I am FBA and I am a black American and I can be a little bit biased, the reality is that the reason why I'm for delineation, and I'm gonna tell you why, is because it forces, in my honest opinion, it forces both sides to be respectful to each other. Like if my community ain't doing shit and we know who it is, and your community is there, okay, when we deal with each other, we gotta have respect.
Okay. I didn't want to.
That's
I didn't want to go there because that's a discussion that we should have maybe separately. Because
yeah, 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 yeah.
I don't mind the Tariq narratives of delineating. I actually want it because you probably heard my videos. You know where I stand with this, right? I'm also on the right opposite spectrum of Tariq's ideology. I'm like the worst on the other side. So I want that too. But I where I my apprehension is usually when we move it away from discussions of like your reparations and all the other stuff into personal attacks. Or Somalis have a long forehead, or these guys are scammers. Like when it gets to those personal attacks and just really flat out xenophobia, then it leaves us no choice that to hit back. You know what I mean? Like, and this is the argument I've always made. And if I ever get to speak to Tariq, this is one of the things that I'll tell him. I'm like, you know what? The one thing you don't want anybody to do is to move to your country. I don't care if they're citizens or not. And you give them a reason to disrespect you on your land and you can't do anything about it. If you don't do this, I can't sit here and put Black American L's on the internet. Because trust me, there's a lot of content. If I just want to do Black American
Oh
L's, I'll
yeah,
do a lot of that. But
oh
why
yeah.
would I
We
do that? Yeah, why would I do that on your home turf? Like you're giving me no reason. You're giving me like you're forcing me to do that in defensive mode. And like, okay, you can talk about delineation. You can talk about the differences we have culturally, and you can root for your tribe because this, at the end of the day, this is just tribalism, right? You can just root for your tribe, no big deal. But
right,
while rooting for your tribe, don't diss my tribe. Once you start to diss my tribe, then we got something. You know what I mean?
right.
And this is
I
where me
understand.
and you actually fell off. Like I didn't like I once you started going towards the Tariqs, I was like, you can't be that and a Pan African. It just doesn't mix because they are completely two opposing ideologies. One is pretty much a very socialist movement. The other one is just like without cause. Like I don't know if you've seen it that they just disrespected my president from Ghana, who tried to make slavery recognized by the UN as a horror against humanity, right? And the FBS went out there and they protested. And guess what? The US government, Israel, and Argentina were the only governments that voted against it. So even your own government is voting against it. The Ghanaians have come all the way from Ghana to push for your reparations, or at least to make that policy. And then you got these blacks out there with signs protesting against the man that is coming with a message to recognize that slavery was evil. That's what they were protesting against, right? So when I hear things like that, I get issues with that. Like it's like I don't want reparations, bro. I do very well here in North America. I don't need reparations. What do I need that for?
Hmm.
I'm a hardened conservative. I believe anything that it's not earned. If you get it from the government, it's bullshit. I don't believe in FHA loans. I don't think the government should help you buy a house. If you can't afford it, get the fuck on. Move on to something else. Okay. If you can't afford it, you ain't gonna. You shouldn't have a home. That's my personal belief. Right? I believe in free market and a meritocracy, which is very different from the way things are done nowadays in North America. But I don't want to be in North America disrespecting Black Americans. That was not part of my script when I moved here.
Hmm.
And the longer this go, you're gonna force a lot of Africans to start disrespecting you on your home turf, and that's really sad, man. It shouldn't have gotten to that. They can push for what they like without disrespecting Caribbeans and Africans. Showing them without a hairline, showing them with some patched up bald heads. Those Tariq thumbnails. It's just not. It's not
Yeah,
right, bro.
yeah, that does go, and I say that does go too far. I mean, like I said, if you look at that, it gives somebody the impression that this person does hate Africa, and I can understand that because yeah, I mean, like I don't honestly think that Tariq Nasheed hates Africans, but when you do see stuff like that, yeah, it's easy for somebody to say like, oh, skinny body, big head, and all that and stuff. But ultimately, let me just say that we got to give each other value. I really believe that that's something that we got to. It's something that we're working on. The black world is working on it, and if we can do that, we're unstoppable. But we have to understand that it has to be like you said, parity, right? And we're still working on how to bring value, not that fake perceived clout value that Agaba does. I'm sorry, I took a shot there, but real value based on real shit and making people play fair. And unfortunately, like I said, unfortunately enough, if we can do it, we can go far. If not, people gonna make you play fair. And what just happened with these dudes is a little guy, against a big corporation, made these niggas play fair, right? And you got to make people be honest. But anyways, bro, let me go ahead on.
Well, yeah, do
Um,
your thing, man. Thanks for coming by, man. You want to say your last word and check out?
yeah, yeah, man. Again, like I said, thank you for having me. Again, like I said, I am Black American, but again, I treat people like I would treat anybody else. And if you're a Ghanaian, if you're Nigerian, if you Ugandan, Kenyan, if you a good person, I'm looking at you just like that. I got just as much love for people who respect me as anybody else. So I want to make that very, very clear. I got people in Uganda that I love just like my own kids. I don't have my own kids of my own, but people on my staff, some of them been working for me, they're 17, 18. Those are kids I never had. I don't look at them no different than I look at anybody else. So as long as people understand that about me, and like I said, it'd be cool. And thank you so much for having me. And thanks for the chat. Even though I was getting roasted up by this one nigga in here by the name of Nana. That's one nigga. He was killing me. He was trying to though.
Yeah.
All
All right,
right, peace out,
man.
fam.
You have a good day, yeah? Yes, sir. All right. O'Shea is off. We're gonna I'm going to step out for about 5 minutes and then I'll bring on the panel. It looks like we're gonna be doing a long one today, right? So let's go back to let me give you all some music, man. Or let's play a little bit of what Agaba had to say. How about that? Let's go here. We had a little bit of some sound issues, but while I do this, give me 5 minutes. I'll be right back, and then we'll get somebody like put your name out there, and you don't get the chance to speak on it, especially in a world where everything is now on the internet. And you said you've had some viral moments doing podcasts, and then I figured you needed at least a chance to explain yourself, bro. You know what I mean? Like what
Yeah.
is true, what is not true. At least have the chance to explain yourself to a mainly American audience so that we know your side of the story. So
Most definitely. I
I
appreciate
will
it.
start with three. I think it's 314 here. Let's go to right about here. This will take
If
us
you
over.
guys remember the early versions of the Repat podcast, and if he ever got a problem with what I'm saying, I'll put all the receipts out there of his homeboys that got fired over at UBL. It can get real messy and get ugly real quick. Best thing he can do is beg me to take this shit down. It's the best thing he can do. All right. Anything else, he ain't got no leverage. Cause he know I got killer receipts that are mind blowing. It's career ending for sure. So that's number one. 2023, I meet this guy by the name of Agaba, also known as Master Gabs. I was on my way to Rhonda. I was with Rachel. It was 2022. This guy happened to be on the same plane as me. Okay. I had just been back in Africa like 4 or 5 months, something like that. I was living in Poland, had just moved back. I had been to Kampala, but I never had lived there. I'd stayed there during COVID, stuff like that. So, this dude comes and he got an American style accent. He like, yo, man, I've been watching you for a long time. This was right in the same year that Kevin Samuels had passed away. So, all right, the year after rather. So basically, he had saw me in the airport. We was on the same flight on Rwanda Air to Kigali. So, I'm like, okay. He was like, he works at the time. He's working at UBL. He was what was he doing there? He was like the former brand manager at Uganda Warji. And then
Okay, so on this part, he's talking about how you met. He was going up and down, but can you briefly describe like if this part of what he's saying is true, like how you guys met? What was that conversation like?
No, that's right on point. It's accurate. We met at Entebbe Airport in the departure lounge, waiting for a flight to Kigali. I recognized him. I had seen Kanganda as a channel, and I had appreciated some of the content that I saw for sure. I thought that the Repat podcast was interesting, and I thought that the shows around business features and kind of taking people on an inside look at what some of the businesses are that they were interacting with. I thought that was all pretty cool. So, I was definitely interested in just introducing myself to the brother, making sure that he knew that I respected his content and what he had going on. And, my motivation for bringing up the Repat podcast was kind of like, I'm a repat. I'm the definition of a repat, somebody who grew up in America, has returned to Uganda for the purposes of establishing a life. So, perhaps there could be an opportunity for me to share some of my opinions on some of the topics that you guys are discussing. If you know, if you happen to be interested, but it was kind of abundantly clear to me that he was a bit not interested at that particular point. I mean, he was nice, he was polite enough, but I came later to understand that he had kind of not really had the best opinion of people's intentions and what they wanted, and if they wanted to come through and take advantage or try and get some kind of opportunity from him and his whole ecosystem. So
Do you think he was do you think he
that
was
was kind of,
like do you think he just had a general distrust for Africans, or was it based on an experience he had had? Because he said he had just returned back after a brief visit, right?
well, I mean, I don't know specifically because I haven't really asked too much around the backstory as to why he was so distrustful of people. But I mean, it makes sense. At the end of the day, I myself, in my effort to try and make relationships and make things shake for myself here, I got my fingers burnt a bunch of times. So I found it understandable. I wasn't really offended by it. I didn't really have an issue with it. Um,
All right, guys. Thanks for giving me that little break. I needed it. I needed it to get some stuff done. I'm gonna put the link back up. I will get we got 48. So 12 minutes. I'm gonna bring you guys back on for 12 minutes and then we're gonna close this out because this has gone longer than I anticipated. I gotta work tomorrow. So right here, I want you guys, one or two of you, to come on and take us home. Wrap it up for us. I think Sunny's here, right? No? So yeah, I got the link in the chat, and then shout out to Oshay for taking the time out to also speak on his side. I like to give people, again, this is corporate America at play. Even if I disagree with people, it's in my DNA to give them at least a fair chance. Okay, give them a fair chance. It's no secret that I'm a huge critic, but it's fair to give them a fair chance to express themselves. If you can't do that, then you actually hate somebody, and I don't. Right? I'm not a hateful person. I just want to give them the chance to express themselves. He's made his points. Agaba made his points. You guys are the litigators. You guys can look at this and see some wrong. I see some wrong on Oshay's side. I see some wrong on Agaba's side, okay? But I don't think it's as deep. This is my take on this after listening to both sides. I see some wrong on Agaba's side. I see some wrong on Oshay's side. But I also don't think it's as deep. I think it's one of those things that can be resolved to a point where they are cordial with each other, but they are kind of separate from business. Sometimes some relationships are good as friends, but not great as business. Okay. And this is one of those scenarios where these two guys like each other, they can be good friends, but they need to stay away from discussing business. Okay. I've always said you only discuss business when you're at parity with the person. Okay. If you don't have a couple $100,000 sitting in a bank account, I'm not dealing with you, because if you got good ideas, you will make that money. Okay. So I don't want to hear your ideas. So whenever I go to my village in Zambia, all my villagers have these $1 million ideas, but they've never seen $1 million. But they all have these genius ideas, right? And they think I'm stupid. I'm like, okay, I still pay you. Sometimes even my employees in Zambia think I'm stupid sometimes when I'm trying to tell them what to do, what to take care, what to take care. They look at me and they think I'm stupid. I'm like, I'm paying you, right? You know that I'm paying you? If I'm paying you, I'm not stupid. That means I know how to make money, right? So this is one of those things that I tell, especially repats, when they're going back to Africa, or if you decide to return to Africa. Don't go to Africa if you've never had a friend that is African. You got to have at least a friend that is African in the US, because they will treat you as family. When you go back, you're going to be hanging out with his family so that you don't have to navigate the turf, because the turf is rough, right? As you've heard from Oshay's explanation today, he got his real introduction to just how difficult it is to operate in Africa, right? And I think he's figured it out, but it took him some pains and it cost him some money. Okay, so for the new guys that are looking at possibly going over there, I think start here, start in the US, establishing a great relationship with Africans before you even think about going over there. If you start here, your friend here is the one that will usher you over there, and it's usually a lot easier. Kag is asking if I'm Zambian or Ghanaian. I'm Ghanaian. My wife is Zambian. Okay, so my wife is from Zambia. I'm from Ghana, and we've universally decided to retire in Zambia because it's easier for her. You know, the man has to always take the difficult approach. So this is why our retirement strategy is in Zambia. And I also just like for simplicity, I just like how the Zambian government does things. I just like how the Zambians as a people does things. I think they're a little bit more organized than my Ghanaians. Okay. And Zambia is a much bigger country by land than Ghana. Okay, Ghana can fit 5 times into Zambia in terms of land, but Ghana has more people than Zambia. So the land in Ghana is very difficult to get now. It's very expensive, and this is why there's a lot of land scams in Ghana. So I think the Zambian, in terms of, because I do a lot of real estate, I buy a lot of land and stuff like that. So Zambia just works perfectly for me. This is why I do a lot of my stuff out of Zambia, and I love it. I just got back from there a few months ago, and I'm gonna be going back in about 3 weeks. So love it, love it. Yeah, my dad's side is Kwau, which is the mountains. So I'm from the mountains, and my mom's side is from Kufuridua, which is in the eastern region. You know that my old subscribers know my that one time I showed them a video of my town. So I'm from a little town called Oboko, and they call it Small London because my town is actually very beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful towns in in all of Ghana. It's really, really for it's a village. It's very beautiful. So here's a video. Some YouTuber one day a year ago. Let me play a
Guys,
little bit.
welcome back to my YouTube channel. How are you all? My name is Amma, so it's called Small Landing. Giving some sort of name, really a small landing.
So this town is really in the mountains. I'm really deep from the mountains. So
This
I don't know if she goes deeper into the
the
town.
building is building. What do you guys think? Is this some kind of red carpet or what? Is it okay? You see, there is some building at the top. So look at this one. Yeah, it's really true that this place is called Small London. Small London. Look at this building at the top. You can.
So most of these homes are vacation homes. People go there over the weekends because it's in the mountains. It's 2 hours from the capital city. So most people travel there over the weekend just to hang out on the weekend, and then they go back to Accra on Monday to work. So it's kind of like a town with a lot of vacation homes, and there's a lot of multi-million-dollar homes over here. It's like some of the most expensive homes in Ghana are found in my hometown.
Only found this at Kogobo.
This
This is
is
actually
where I'm from.
most of these buildings. Yeah, so go inside. You will let me get close a little bit for you guys to see. Yeah. So yeah, once the rich people comes from this place. Close. Let me get a little bit close for you guys to see. Oh, you hope you can see it well. Very beautiful.
Yeah, most of Ghana's industrialists, like business people, come from here. So this is why they have all these vacation homes over there. The Kwaus are the richest Ghanaians. These are like this tribe is the richest Ghanaians. It's a minority tribe, but it's also the business tribe. So all these guys are big businessmen in Accra and in Kumasi, and they just come here over the weekend just to hang out. But my dad used to run business from here. Started a hotel there. Yeah, this I'm telling you, there's homes here that are like 9, 10,000 square foot. They're huge, huge homes out here, man. I remember this house, Kofridia House. This house has been here since the 80s. A little bit run down. I remember it growing up. I remember all these houses. But anyway, yeah, this is where I grew up. Well, not where I grew up, but this was my hometown. I grew up in Accra, in the capital city, but this is where I come from. All right, man, let's wrap this up. Did I put the link up for you guys to come on? I only got 2 minutes left. I'll put it right up again. I think everybody went to sleep. Yeah, well, the Maya did one from Kwao. He went to, I think he went to this place called Rock City, which is built by Brian Champon, who is Rock City, I think. This is Rock City.
Welcome to a special feature on Rock City Hotel, an architectural marvel nestled within the scenic beauty of Nkwetiakweu. This luxurious resort is not just a hotel, but a testament to the modern hospitality and design excellence. Opened in 2019, Rock City Hotel has swiftly risen to prominence as one of Ghana's fastest growing hospitality destinations. What sets it apart is not just its size, but also its unique design, crafted by Black female architects. With its ongoing expansion, Rock City is poised to become the largest hotel in Africa, boasting over 2,000 rooms and a plethora of recreational and entertainment options. From luxurious guest rooms to state-of-the-art conference facilities, Rock City Hotel offers both a range of experiences for leisure and business travelers. During Easter and other special occasions, Rock City Hotel transforms into a vibrant hub of entertainment, attracting visitors.
Yeah, so because we are from the mountains, we have a lot of paragliding activities, zip lining. It's a tourist destination. You all should check it out, man. It's a good place. Love it out there, man. It's just so much. And the weather is, if you've been to Medellin, Colombia, my hometown has the weather of Medellin, Colombia. It's tropical and it's cooler in the morning. It's very cold in the morning and it's very cold at night because you're really up in the mountains, as you can see, way up above sea level. And you don't need air conditioning. So I don't think any of these rooms need air conditioning. Nobody needs air conditioning over there because it's cooler in the mornings, cooler year round. The sun sets at 5 o'clock, so you can just come outside at 5. And there's a lot of longevity in this town. Most people live up to like 80, 90 years old. And you don't need most of them use plant medicine, herbal medicine. So they would go over here and pick up some plants to cure themselves. There's a regional hospital that is like 10, 15-minute drive from these towns. But for the most part, there's a lot of longevity. Sometimes I ask my mom about some of her friends and they're still alive. But her friends that came to the US earlier on in the 2000s, they've all died. So the ones that remained in Ghana stayed alive. Anyway, I'll wrap it up. Thanks for coming here. We will see you another day. I got to get myself ready for bed and to go to work tomorrow. Thank you all for coming. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for being part of the show. Let me know what you think when this video posts. Was I fair to Oshay? Was I not fair to him? I think I was pretty fair. It's good to sometimes be a conflict resolution person. Who would have thought that I would be resolving a conflict between Oshay and Africans, right? But that's where we are. That's where we are. I wish you guys all a good night. Thanks for supporting the show. Thanks for being here. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel. And, yes, sir. Let me know when you want to go, man. I think you should do Ghana before you do Nigeria. I think Nigeria is a little bit, Nigeria is for the pros. So, yeah, I would recommend you do Ghana. Ghana is usually the first step, okay? Zambia, I highly recommend Zambia for sure. If you ever want to do Zambia, let me know. But I do highly recommend Zambia. Zambia is my favorite. Zambia is my favorite. I could be a little bit biased because of my wife, but I find Zambia better. And a lot of Westerners don't know about Zambia, but I find Zambia better because if you are from the US, and I think I show speed, notice that the moment you go to Zambia, if you are from the US, one of the first things you're going to experience over there is that in Zambia, a lot of the things are very similar to the things that you experience here in the US. So you're going to find that you can buy things
Hello?
with a salute to you, KF.
All right.
Can you talk?
Yeah, I can talk for a little bit.
Okay. Well, how did it go? What do you think? Hello, Kev.
It's definitely two sides to every story.
Right.
You know, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So me personally, I would never engage with him after the experience I've had with him, but anymore in the future. But you know, not everybody's experience is going to be my experience and a lot of other people's experience. I mean, if you want to really like know two people really fell out in a very big way, in a very confrontational way, that would be him and the Angry Man. That's probably the worst that the internet has ever seen him fall out with somebody. So what's fallen out between him and Agaba, as we can see online anyway, is mild in comparison.
Mm.
What happened between me and him and him and Ingerman is mild in comparison to a lot of people. But in my opinion, it's not. But that's my experience.
Yeah, I one of the, I guess one of the most striking moments to me was it felt like most of the allegations stem, and I told him that too, right? I thought it felt like most of the allegations stem from the fact that they fell out, right?
Right.
If they didn't fall out, then would this ever have been an issue though?
Well, listening to both sides, and like I said, over the years, I've seen O'Shea fall out with a lot of different people, and O'Shea always has his side of the story. Just real quick, I'll answer this and then move on. O'Shea, there's a reason why O'Shea is always falling out with people, like all the time. But the thing is, when I listen to both sides, I really don't. Okay, Agaba said he tried to go to his house and try to apologize for whatever it is he may have done, however he may have offended O'Shea. And O'Shea said, how he dealt with that. So didn't answer the door, told him to get the f out, whatever have you. The thing is that the truth is, he even said he didn't know what an MOU is. So if you don't even know what an MOU is, it shows that you're not in corporate America. You're not in corporate branding. You're not in really marketing. You're a YouTuber. You make good money because of YouTube, based on the fact that the Angry Man taught him everything he knows basically about YouTube. Okay, and that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. But the thing is, he's not part of this corporate world that he wants to be so badly a part of. And if there's something that anybody could take away from tonight, you notice there's one part he said he didn't get credit for this, he didn't get credit for this, he didn't get credit for this. That's something that O'Shea always likes to do, is he likes to get credit for everything, even stuff that really has nothing to do with him. There was a part where he said, such and such in Uganda, Farm Up and these other people, they met Wodamaya because of me. No, they would have met Wodamaya anyway, because Wodamaya already said he was coming back to Uganda with or without O'Shea, and they would have met him. They would have met him on their own. But see, he inserted himself in. If it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for me, they would have never met. So he's always trying to insert his name in there as if, he wants to take credit for everything that everybody does. And I've met a few YouTubers out there like O'Shea's not the only one, and O'Shea's not the worst one either that does that. But that's the character of O'Shea. It's like he wants to get credit. He wants everybody to say his name and stuff like that. It's just really weird. And then, when he chasing the coattails of like Anton and Kevin Samuels and all this, like he'll make 101 videos within a week when the story's hot, and it's like he really doesn't really mix it up. And if he does mix it up with a couple of the different stories, it doesn't seem like he mixed it up at all, because nobody can think of those different stories. It's always about Anton or Kevin or somebody else hot at the time, Corey Holcomb or whatever. This is who he is. He has talent based on what Angry Man has shown him, but he really doesn't have talent in creating stuff himself. Like creating the stories, like the whole Kinganda thing. That was my idea.
Oh yeah, I
That
think you
was
told
my
me that,
idea.
right? I think you told me that.
R- right. And this is before he even went into Uganda the very first time. We were on the phone. I said, I'll turn you on to a YouTube channel out of Nigeria called Box. And I just told him, I was just shooting ideas to his head, like, if this is something you're interested in, you could do something like what they are doing at Box, because what Box is doing is excellent, right? So when King Ghana was formed, it was based off of Box. But then he started sexualizing it. And I'll send you some stuff over that, what I mean, it has the King Ghana name on it. And of course, he mixed it up with, there was actually some good stuff that came out of King Ghana, but there's a lot of other stuff that just didn't make any sense. And you never knew what King Ghana really stood for. Was it about Kenya and Uganda? Was it about FBA? Was it about Pan Africanism? You just didn't know what it was really about. But one thing for sure, there's to a certain point, it got perverted. And then another point is just a lot of trash talking about Africans, especially when it's not necessary.
Yeah.
And
This guy is asking, Nanza is asking, has he fallen out with Ode Maya? I'd like to speak with Wode, being Ghanaian. That would be nice.
well, me and Maya fell out is unrelated to Oshay, but according to Oshay, they've fallen out twice.
Okay.
So I have no idea, but
Wode Maya is a very structured person, though. I mean, he's a small guy, but he's a
yes,
very
yes,
structured person. He doesn't play games.
right. And I could see somebody in his position, and I'm just talking about Maya, nobody else.
Right.
He would have to be, because he positioned himself to be.
Yeah.
I mean, when you really look at it, I mean, the people that he hangs out with now compared to before he got big on YouTube, because he was on YouTube for years as just basically a African man in China doing Chinese comedy in China. That's what you knew him for. But when things got serious after Rwanda, that first video, when I helped him in Rwanda, hook up with my friend, and that's when he blew up. That right there,
The one
he
he
had to
ate in the
take a
gutter,
whole new
right?
different direction. The what again?
The one where he was eating in that gutter?
Yes, that was the video that catapulted his whole YouTube career. But
Wow.
from that 1 week he was there, when he was with Justin Kayiranga, who was an official journalist. Justin, in that 7 days, taught Wodamaya so much about filmmaking and how to engage in a story, a subject, a place, or a thing. That's what he got out of that from that 1 week. He also got on how to interview people. And so when the lockdown came, and of course the lockdown is a couple years later or a year later, when the lockdown came through and Wodamaya was stuck in Ghana, what did he do? He was interviewing Ghanaian entrepreneurs, and those became very successful. That is the stuff that he got out of that 1 week in Rwanda. Okay, so yeah, so as far as a Wodamaya position, he has to position himself to be more focused, more rounded than somebody like Oshay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Sorry.
I could sense some good in O'Shea from just our conversation because I'm very good at reading people, right? I'm very
Mm-hmm.
hard to impress. It's very hard to impress me. I'm hard headed. It's very hard to impress me. But what I really took from this was Agaba is a really great guy. And he does admit from our conversation today, Agaba admits he's not perfect. You know, he even comes and say, I think I screwed up here. I think I screwed up there. He didn't come here and just
Okay.
defended everything. There were, if you heard the conversation today, there were parts where he admits that certain things were not right, right?
Right.
O'Shea didn't start like that, but towards the end, O'Shea does say, hey, I'm not perfect either. Which brings me to the point. We are humans. I'm not perfect, bro. I got my own flaws too, right? I'm not
Mm-hmm.
perfect, but there's certain things I do good at. And they both have certain skills that they do good at. And if I'm looking at the two of them, and I'm not an expert in this content bullshit, look at me. I only got 1,000 subs, bro. But what I
Right.
got from this was these guys could, if they really figure something out with the right management, they can really, really do some good damage on YouTube, bro.
Right. You know,
Agaba,
the thing
Agaba
is,
is, before you get in, Agaba is
yeah.
100 times better than anybody that Anton Daniels puts on his panels.
Oh, I have to agree. I have to agree with that. Now, like back to O'Shea. In the beginning, okay, I didn't agree with him because when I first found him on YouTube, it's like he's talking a lot of shit about Africans, and I didn't care for it. And then it seems like he was lightening up because when he was in Poland, he was talking about a Nigerian that was doing his website and a couple of the Africans that was doing some club stuff with him. And it seemed like he was lightening up. So I gave the guy a chance. And when he called me in, to, basically asked if I would do an interview, whatever we did. I just knew that 99.9% of everybody in America is not built for Africa. But let me give O'Shea a chance because it sounds like he might be laying off the African criticism in a way. And the African criticisms that before that he was doing was just going out basically being a hater. He didn't know anything about Africa or nothing. I mean, he came to me because he heard some of the stories on my old channel when I used to speak about Africa sometimes. And he wanted to like, okay, this is a white dude talking about Africa. I want to, basically he needed my validation. I'll tell you why, because I got to go here pretty soon. I'll tell you why. He needed my validation to get the fear out of him about Africa because he actually believed wholeheartedly that there was lions and tigers that were going to meet him at the airport if he landed somewhere in Africa. And that's literal. He's one of those Americans that actually believe that. So basically we had a conversation of myth busting. I talked to him about a half a dozen times in about a 6-month period in 2017. This is before he even went, well, most of those phone calls before he went to Uganda for the first time. And the thing is that I told him the do's and the don'ts. And that's also when not King Ghana, because there wasn't a name for it yet, the idea for King Ghana came up, and that's where Bottom Box came in, right? So all these different ideas I was throwing out there, I was like, hey, you could do this. And I thought, well, you know what? He seems to be interested in Africa, so let's invite him. Like, Africans do all the time. They invite people to come to the continent, so I invited him, gave him that olive branch, and gave him the information that he needed. So that way he wouldn't get stuck or get himself in trouble when he decided to go to Uganda. And Uganda, by the way, it was a choice between Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. Which country does the dollar go the furthest? And before we talked about this on one of his live streams, right, we talked about it on the phone, right? So we talked about it on the phone. Uganda was his choice, obviously, because that's where his money was going to stretch, and that's where he went, based off that only. But here's the thing. I gave him the benefit of the doubt because I wanted at least 1% of somebody from over here to go over there and have a good experience. Go there. I was telling him, go there, you got your passport, go over there, find out for yourself. And then when he came back after his first video, I was like, no, this is not true. This is not true. Because he was saying some crap about it. But, that's just O'Shea. That's just O'Shea. But, we had a falling out a couple years later because I noticed as he started getting, a little more machismo about him going into Africa between Poland and Uganda, he started acting like, he's a know-it-all about Africa, like real quick. And the disrespect of Africans started coming back. I noticed that. So I disconnected myself with him in late 2018. And he didn't know it at the time, but that's what I did because I was just sick and tired of it. I was like, okay, well, he's just going to be there. And then 2018, he did that Trickin' Live in Uganda video promoting you-know-what. So that was the last straw. That was the last straw. And people like Agaba, they have their own experience. It's not my experience. But a lot of people in Africa had the same experience I have had with O'Shea directly. Okay? Whether if it's directly in person or over the social media in some shape or form. So I take what he says with a grain of salt on a lot of the interactions he has with other people because you always have to go back. Why is O'Shea always falling out with people? Why is it always somebody else's fault and not his fault. And when you question that and the number of people he falls out with, there's something wrong in house. So there's something wrong within O'Shea's house. He needs to clean that up. And I
I
really
think he
wanted him
admitted
to do
that though,
something
right?
good for. Say what again?
I said I think he admitted that he also needed to work on some stuff, right?
Yeah, he did. And before I go, I really wanted him to get a good experience out of Africa, and I really wanted him maybe to do something, to give back. But mostly what I see him giving back, and it doesn't matter. He believes if he spends money on people, that's his friends. He used to admit that on some of his live streams, that in order to be a friend with somebody, you got to pay them money. And that's before his first trip to Uganda. And when he said that, I was like, nah, come on, that ain't true. I never told him that, but I was like, that's not true. That's just a personal hang-up. But maybe we could pick this up later. I do have to get going.
Right. Get going, bro. Yeah, even me, I got to wrap up. It's midnight here. So thanks for coming through, man. And thanks to Oshay for also coming here and doing his thing. I'll let you go and then I'll just do my summary and wrap it up. We can continue this tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday.
All
I
right.
don't have a busy day tomorrow. I got some school runs to do. And then I got a couple meetings, 2 meetings early in the morning. So I can fire it up very early tomorrow. And then we can extend this conversation, man. Thanks for coming through,
Yeah,
bro.
I'll let you know. Yeah, thank you, and have a good night. Thanks for everybody that came in. Cheers.
Yeah, and this is it right here. We're going to shut it down. Thanks for coming through, guys. You all have a good night.